Welcome to That's Football. It's Liverpool versus PSG, live stream watch along, and it is also Inter versus Barcelona. So I hope you're all doing very well. A little bit early, I've gone live, but there you go. I'll have Marcus joining me a little bit as well. Jazz Dill says, I don't think Liverpool are going to make it out of their group, to be honest. I think it's massively interesting. You know what? I was just saying there, I've just finished up on the United stand, and I love Manchester United. I think any United fan would say the same, but I hate watching Manchester United. So tonight, it's very stressful watching Manchester United as well. It's just very, very frustrating and stressful. So tonight, I'm actually looking forward to watching good football. You know, Liverpool are a good team, Spurs are a good team, Inter Milan are a good team, and obviously PSG have got some fantastic world stage players like Neymar, Mbappe. So I'm looking forward to watching it. But you're right. I think it's a massive game for Liverpool and PSG. And I think that there could be this situation whereby one of them end up in the Europa League, which is massive for either of those teams, isn't it? It really is. That they could not make it through would be surprising. But Napoli have made it very interesting. Red Star Belgrade have made it very interesting. And I think, to be honest with you, as a neutral, because I am a neutral, George Ramos says, will Mourinho ever resign? No, because it will cost him too much money. I mean, simple answer. Thanks for the contribution, but never in a million years will he resign, because he will lose too much money. If you're sacked, he will get a lot of money. So that won't happen. But let's just have a look at the team news for Liverpool. As I understand it, it is Alisson in goal, Gomez on the right back, so no Trent Alexander-Arnold, don't know whether he's injured. Lovren, the world's best centre-back, with Van Dijk, and obviously Robinson at left back. Midfield three of Henderson, Milner and Wijnaldum, so pretty much what they were doing last season in the Champions League. And then obviously the three amigos up front, Firmino, Mane and Salah. So yeah, interesting from them. From PSG's point of view, let's have a look at how they're going to be lining up tonight. So they've got Buffon in goal, Marquinhos, Thiago Silva, Kimpembe, Carrere, Verratti is playing, which would be interesting because he didn't play in the last game. Di Maria, Bernat, Mbappe, Neymar and Cavani. Rabiot on the bench, which is quite surprising. Draxler on the bench. And obviously Liverpool's point of view, new signings, Fabinho, Keita, they're on the bench. Shaqiri's on the bench. Alexander-Arnold is on the bench, so he's not injured. Matip, Shaqiri, Mingale and Sturridge make it up. And when we look at the squad, let's just have a look at the squad, not the squad. When we look at the actual the group and how it could pan out tonight, I think there's a couple of interesting groups. Obviously, the Liverpool group, first of all. Liverpool and Napoli both on 6 points. And Napoli are home to Red Star Belgrade tonight. So you're going to have to expect Napoli to beat Red Star, which I don't think makes a massive amount of difference to Liverpool, because the first game what was the result in Napoli-Liverpool? Because I don't think it's done on goal difference. It's done on head-to-head, isn't it? And Liverpool's last game of this group stage is Napoli. So even if Liverpool were to lose tonight, I think if they beat Napoli, they will probably go through. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, if we've got any Liverpool fans in here. So Liverpool and Napoli currently on 6 points each, PSG on 5 points, and Red Star Belgrade on 4 points. So Red Star are potentially still in it, but I wouldn't give them a hope. Now, if Liverpool were to beat PSG, that would put them up onto 9 points and leave PSG on 5. And if Napoli were to beat Red Star, that would put them up on 9 points and leave PSG on 5, which would mean PSG can't catch either of them, and they are going into the Europa League if they can beat Red Star. So massive interesting game. The draw potentially makes it very, very interesting, but we can talk about that as it develops. From a Tottenham point of view, let's look at Tottenham's league. Tottenham, are they in trouble? Are they not in trouble? They're in trouble. Tottenham have got 4 points, Inter Milan have got 7 points, and Barcelona have got 10 points. Barcelona playing PSV tonight. They will win that game and they will qualify in first place. If Spurs beat Inter Milan tonight at Wembley, that will put them up onto 7 points, the same amount of points as Inter Milan. However, They've then got to go to the new camp and get something, because Inter Milan, you would expect, may well beat PSV. So it's virtually... I think Spurs are going to the Europa League because of the bad start they had in the Champions League. And it's unfortunate. I've got a lot of time for Spurs. But are they really going to go to the new camp and get anything out of Barcelona? I don't think so. So tonight, they've got to beat Inter Milan first. And they're going to rue... I mean, Spurs are going to rue the mistakes they made at the start. 1-0 up in Milan, and they end up losing 2-1 with 10 minutes to go. So, it's unfortunate, but that's the situation, I think. Who is Militao? Says silent but deadly 14. Well, watch the United Stand video I've just done, but he's a 20-year-old centre-back for Porto. Spurs actually have to win tonight, Kieran McCrory. You are spot on. It is absolutely essential. Absolutely essential that Spurs win tonight. We can have no, there is no room for error at all. They must win this game of football. But Marcus is going to be keeping an eye on Spurs versus Inter, and I'm going to be doing Liverpool versus PSG, and we will be keeping you up abreast, so to speak, with all those games. Score prediction wise, I think it's very, very difficult. PSG may well end up suffering with something that I spoke about last season, and that is this, that they are in a very good team, PSG, but they don't get tested. So how, and this always happens to PSG when they end up in the knockout stages. They do quite well, they come up against a decent team, and then they get beat. And they get beat because they're not that good. Not that they're not that good. They're just not used to playing competitive games week in, week out. And that, to me, will be to Liverpool's advantage tonight, because they are used to playing competitive games week in, week out. So I actually think Liverpool are going to win. You know what? I speak my truth. I speak the truth these days. And you know what? Manchester United are crap, and we are where we deserve to be. And Man City, Liverpool, Spurs are where they deserve to be in the Premier League. They're playing very, very good football. So I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie and say that I think Liverpool will win. I think Liverpool will have more fitness, more tenacity, and more consistency than PSG, and I don't think PSG will be sort of used to playing these sort of games. So that's my thought on it. I don't know what your thoughts are. Please do drop a like on the video, everybody, and please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. I know we've got a few people probably coming over from the United Stand. You might be new completely. Please subscribe to the channel and share the video and get involved. That would be appreciated. So yeah, we're about 18 minutes away from kickoff. I'm going to go for a Liverpool win. I'm going to go 3-1 to Liverpool, which obviously, from my point of view, look, I'm not going to lie. I know Liverpool fans, and I know Liverpool fans get on with me now, and, everything's great. And, rivals don't have to be enemies and all that jazz. But, you are a rival, Liverpool fans. And, of course, I'm not going to sit here and say I want Liverpool to win, because I'm a Manchester United fan, and that's just impossible for me to do that. But I do hope we get a good game, because Liverpool did get to the Champions League final last year. They are second in the Premier League because that's where they deserve to be. And PSG are one of the most expensive constructed teams with some fantastic world stage players. So I want to see a very, very good game. I want to see a good game tonight. That's what I want to see. And likewise, Spurs, Inter. I think Spurs are going to win that game. I just think in the long term, they're probably not going to do it. You off to bed? Yeah. All right, night. So that's my feeling about that game. If I'm totally honest with you, but I think both have got the potential to be good. What we should never ever do is expect a game to be good. But I don't think PSG defensively, despite having people like Thiago Silva, Kimpembe, Buffon in goal, I don't think they're actually that good defensively. So I think there is an opportunity for Liverpool to do something there. And I think Liverpool have improved defensively a lot themselves. So it's going to make for a very, very, very interesting game, and one that I'm certainly looking forward to. So get your score predictions in below. Give us your thoughts on how you think it's going to go, and let's get ready to rumble, as they say. I'm just multitasking here. I've gone live a little bit early, but I don't mind going live a little bit early on this channel, because it's quite relaxed, isn't it? You know, it's quite relaxing. That'll do. So, let me get back on my live comments because I can't interact until I've got that. Marcus will be joining us soon, and then I've got to set my TV up for the game. But let's have a read of some of the live comments and have a sip of water. Goldbridge is a Klopp fan, says Osama Hassan. You know what? I'm just fed up. I'm fed up of playing this game now. Carrick fan was on about this. If you know Carrick fan on Twitter, he said I like Goldbridge, but I'm fed up of him arse-licking rivals. And I like Carrick fan, so I didn't bury him for it. But I have not had this with Manchester United for a long time, where we are absolutely abysmal and our biggest rivals are playing fantastically well. Because even when we had Van Gaal and Moyes, Liverpool weren't that good. Man City was still very inconsistent. This season, you've got Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, Spurs, Man City consistently winning week in, week out and playing good football. And we are consistently playing crap football. Now, you can bury your head in the sand and just keep absolutely destroying your health by pretending that we are a contender and we're as good as those teams. Or you can accept the fact that Manchester United at the moment are a bloody embarrassment. Now, I ain't going anywhere. I love the club. I love Manchester United and I'm always going to support them. But I ain't going to go through life going, yeah, they're not a good team, they're not a good team, sod them, they're a rival. As I say, rivals don't need to be my enemies and I can appreciate good football. Am I a fan of Klopp? I wasn't. I must admit, this season, I've sort of opened my eyes. It started towards the end of last season, and it's opened my eyes. It's opened my eyes. Because I did a video on it. I don't know whether it was on this channel or my channel. I said, Liverpool are the new Manchester United, and it got a lot of stick, but a lot of Liverpool fans didn't like it, and then they watched it, and it was like, actually, he's paying them a compliment, because Liverpool and Klopp are probably the closest thing to prime Sir Alex Ferguson in the Premier League at the moment, because they have got a good grounding combination of three things: British players, youth players, and top players from around the world. They don't give in. If they're drawing, he'll go for the win in the last 10 minutes. Manchester United, they're playing entertaining football. He's absolutely 100% engaged and loved by the fans, Sir Alex Ferguson. So the closest thing to Sir Alex Ferguson in the Premier League at the moment is our biggest bloody rival, Klopp and Liverpool. Look at that back four: Robertson, Scottish, Alexander-Arnold or Gomez, English, Van Dijk, yeah, Dutch. We used to have a good centre back who was Dutch as well. Their goalkeeper, foreign, very, very good goalkeeper. The midfield three, you've got Milner, you've got Henderson. I mean, all right, they're no Scholes, they're no Keane, but they're still, local British English lads. I know Keane wasn't. And then they've got the front three, which has got the flair and the talent. They're the closest thing to Manchester United in my mind at the moment, prime Sir Alex Ferguson, and that's sad. And Mourinho is probably the furthest away from Sir Alex Ferguson's Manchester United in the top six. He is the furthest away, isn't he? Crap football, no real youth playing, crap results, no desire to go and win a game. It's ridiculous. But I think once you accept it, life becomes a lot easier for you as a United fan if you just accept that your support for your club isn't going anywhere. My support for Manchester United is the same it was in '99 when we were winning trebles. I still love the club, but I ain't gonna live a lie and say that the way we're playing at the moment is up there with the best teams in Europe or in England, because it's not. And I look at those teams and say begrudgingly, they are Liverpool, they are Man City, they are Spurs. And fair play to them, because they're being run very, very well by their managers. But hopefully we can spin it. Hopefully we can. Joe H says, can we buy any merchandise for United's stand, Mark? Would people actually be interested in that? Let me know. We can have a look into that, especially in the new year. I hope we don't face Gigi Buffon in the final. He will break my heart either way, says Roberto Bezic. And Bayern or Atletico Madrid, says Cuba Joao. I would go, if you're asking me which club I prefer, I'm not a massive fan of either. I don't dislike either, but I probably would go Atletico Madrid. Marcus is calling apparently. Well, it'd be helpful if I opened up Skype, wouldn't it? Because I haven't got it open. So he can call all night. So we'll do that. Okay. Make sure you subscribe if you're new, everybody. And please do drop a like on the video and share it. Because we want to get this channel going. we had a really good World Cup, didn't we? We had a really good World Cup on this channel. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And yes, updates on the championship scores, says George Ramos. Yes, we'll keep you updated on those, George. Please do remind me every now and again, because I like doing these Champions League watch-alongs because there's always a full schedule of championship games. And the Championship is just, they play so many games, it's very hard to keep up with it. So there we go. Got Mad Marcus in the house. Hello, Mad Marcus. How are you? Or Marcus?
Good evening, mate. How are we doing?
I'm good.
How's everyone?
Yeah, I'm actually, to be honest with you, I'm feeling better than when Manchester United played last night. And as I've said, tried to explain to people, it's nothing to do with the fact that I don't love Manchester United. It's just that tonight, I know I can relax and watch football and not have to get pissed off with the team I support playing absolutely shit. So we get to watch two big games tonight. Spurs Inter, Liverpool PSG, both massive games because if the English clubs lose, well, Spurs are certainly out. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually quite relaxed, and let's see what it brings.
It does make a change to watch an entertaining game, doesn't it? Really?
Well, we don't know whether it's entertaining yet, but potentially it should be. Very, very good players on show. Certainly better than the bloody Swiss chocolate makers from last night, who, in all due respect, deserve the result.
Right. Yes, I think from Spurs' point of view, and from my point of view as well, watching the game, I think Spurs have got no choice but to attack. They have no choice but to win the game. It's sink or swim for them. So I'm expecting an exciting game tonight. Do you know the teams? Do you want me to read the team out for Spurs and Inter?
I haven't. I've left it for you because I know you're gonna do that. And just while you're doing that and just covering that, because we are about 9 minutes away from kickoff, I've just got to set my TV up. So I'll leave you to do the team news, and I'll be back with everybody in a couple of moments.
Yep, no worries, mate. So Spurs team news. Apparently there are 4 changes from over Chelsea. So Lloris is in goal, Aurier right back, Alderweireld, Vertonghen and Davies as the back 4. We've got Winks, Sissoko, Lamella, Dele Alli, Lucas and Harry Kane up front. So Christian Eriksen is on the bench yet again for Spurs. And Inter Milan's team news is Handanovic in goal, Ambrosio, Skriniar, De Vrij, Asamoah, Brozovic, Vecino, Politano, Nangolan, Perisic and Icardi. So, unknown driller, you can go straight away because I don't want to see that, and I don't think Mark will want to see that either. So, so yeah, 4 changes from the Chelsea win for Spurs. And yeah, I'm expecting quite an exciting match, knowing that Spurs have to win this game, else they are out of the Champions League and they drop down into Europa League. Inter Milan, I think a point would set them on their way for qualification unless they've already qualified. Chicken Wings says Liverpool are about to get bent over. Yeah, could be. But I think Liverpool, they're playing in Paris tonight, aren't they? So I know Spurs are playing at Wembley, so hopefully the Wembley pitch is a lot better. They've had a lot of time to get that grass back growing from the NFL as well. Does it, Ryan? Thank you. All right, Jack, how you doing? Mr. JR450 has got to watch the game in Spanish in the USA. Inter 1, Tottenham 1, says Joy Deep. Do you know what? I'm actually thinking Spurs will win this game. I really do. I think Pochettino, he likes to play an attacking team at home, and I don't think I've ever really seen Spurs defend like United would defend in a game. Mobius Drummer, Marcus, would you rather Pochettino or Klopp? Oh, that's a tough one. But I think I would have to go, based on this season's form and last season's form, I would go with Klopp. I think he plays the better football. I think he's better with money as well. And I just think overall he's a better manager. Have I played Red Dead Online yet? Says Chronic. No, I haven't. I was going to do that tonight. So I might stream that tonight after the game. I am, Ryan. Yeah, hope you're okay. Liverpool kind of need to win. Yeah, Liverpool's group are a tight group, aren't they? I mean, Liverpool's, what are they, 6? Is it 6 points with PSG's on 6 and Red Stars on 4 or 5. I think Napoli head the group. I think, unless I'm mistaken. That's it. I think Napoli's top, aren't they? Liverpool second, PSG are third, and Red Star are fourth. So yeah, I wouldn't have thought Liverpool lost tonight. They wouldn't be totally out of it, but I think obviously a win would help them, Marcus. But why would Klopp come to United? Oh no, he won't come to United, really. It was just hypothetical. Hiya Liam, how you doing? Josh wants to know how old I am. I am 38. Jazz Deal says Marcus Outlast. No, I'm not 64, Race. No, I know I sound it, but I'm not. Outlast. I don't know when Mark is doing that. I'll ask him when he comes back if he's got an idea roughly. No point in United going through. To be honest, they'll get knocked out anyway. Says GHFC. I think that's probably. I think the last 16 is probably where we come to an end. I can't see us getting any further, to be honest. George Watts says Big L for Marcus. Why is that? Let me know. Ask Mark says any watch-alongs this weekend, says Matty. Yes, there will be. United away to Southampton on Saturday. I think, do you know what? I think Mark might, I know there's a couple of derbies on Sunday. Oh, yeah, mate, you're right. Let's see. So we got Hakil Hall, who's just made a contribution. Thanks for that. He says Liverpool's on 6 points, Napoli's on 6 points, Paris Saint-Germain are on 5, and Red Star on 4. Okay, so Liverpool, in theory, can afford.
Yeah, I don't know. I was talking about that. I don't know whether anyone in the live comments knows. I don't know whether we've got George Kyle on because he's normally good at this sort of thing. If Liverpool lose to PSG, which I actually don't think they will, we'll get your prediction in a minute, Marcus, and everyone else. Yep. I don't think they will lose. But if they do lose, they'll stay on 6 points. Napoli beat Red Star Belgrade because they're at home. They got to 9 points. Then Liverpool beat Napoli at Anfield. They're both on 9 points. It doesn't come down to goal difference. I think it comes down to head-to-head. So I think that's right, and I can't remember what the score was between Napoli and Liverpool. I think it was a draw. Oh no, I think
I thought they lost.
Yeah, I think they lost 1-0, didn't they?
Liverpool lost, didn't they? Yeah.
So that would mean that then if Liverpool beat at PSG, head to head would be the same. So it probably does come down to goal difference. Yeah. So Paul will need 2 goals to go through versus Napoli, says Archie. So yeah, if Liverpool beat Napoli 2-0, that would outdo their score, I think. But if PSG lose tonight, says Conrad Book, he's right, and Napoli win and Liverpool win, obviously, then they will be out. So, yeah, it's an interesting night. As I say, it's a very interesting night. What's your score predictions, Marcus, on both games?
Do you know what? I'm going to go PSG to win 3-1 against Liverpool. And
see, I've gone opposite. I think Liverpool are going to win 3-1.
No, I don't see it, mate. I really don't see it. I think Neymar and Mbappe, I think, is going to be too much for Liverpool in Paris. But for Spurs, I've got to say, after United, I want all the English teams to do well in the Champions League. So for Spurs, I'm going to go for a win, 2-1 Spurs for me.
Yeah, I hope that I hope Spurs win. I like Spurs. I do like Spurs, and I think that they do things in the right way. So I like Spurs. I hope they do win it. But we shall see. We shall see how it goes. I
just think for Spurs to win this game, they need the crowd on their side. I mean, they're in a good position in the league. I know it's early doors in the season, but they've not spent any money in the summer. They managed to keep all their good players in the summer, and they had a bit of a rocky start to the Champions League campaign, but it's in their hands. It's in their destiny. They know that they're 2 wins away from round 16. So I fancy Spurs to win it. I really do. I know Inter have got obviously the danger men in their side. Skriniar's in the side. We're linked with him, so it'll be good to see him. Never seen him play, so it'll be nice to see what the lad's all about.
Yeah.
But I've got my teams out here just standing there doing the handshakes at the minute.
Yeah, my two. Liverpool are not my team. Liverpool, PSG are handshaking as well. Definitely not my team. But looking at a lot of the predictions, a lot of people going 3-1, just different ways. I went 3-1 Liverpool. Marcus has gone 3-1 PSG. I just hope we get a good game in both of them. Marcus is obviously watching Spurs Inter, so we are covering both games tonight, which is nice. Again, I think that's something we started a few weeks ago, and I think that a couple of weeks' time, it's going to be interesting as well. Is it a couple of weeks' time? I think it is 2 weeks' time when the return games. I mean, that if Spurs beat Inter, Spurs Barcelona is going to be a cracker, and obviously Liverpool Napoli is going to be a cracker if it goes the right way.
Yeah, I mean, results depending tonight, it could be an interesting, last fixture in the the group stage of the Champions League. So it's very interesting the way the groups have set out, the way they've panned out. I mean, I would have thought that Paris Saint-Germain and Liverpool would have been first and second in their group by a long way. It's not gone that way.
I've just kicked off in mine. It's Napoli managed by Arnautovic. Ancelotti have done very, very well. Very well indeed. I mean, PSG were nearly in there with a long ball over the top, but Alisson's easily off his line to collect. So I'm just getting the timer up for everybody as well.
So Spurs, BT have had them lined up as a 4-2-3-1, and they've lined up Inter Milan as a 4-2-3-1 as well. Icardi's obviously the main number 9 for Inter. They got Perisic out on the left hand side. Nainggolan, they've got him lined up behind Icardi, playing as the number 10, which would be interesting. We are off and running. I've got a couple of questions to ask you, mate, as well, when you're free, before I forget.
Go on then.
Do you know when your Outlast stream is yet?
No.
No, right.
Next.
So there's the answer to that one, Jazdeal. Right, and the next one is obviously United Southampton Saturday, but are you doing a watch along for any of the derbies on Sunday?
No. Next.
No, that's it. No to both questions, guys. There you go.
No, I would have done, but to be honest with you, I've got to be honest. Premier League, I've lost total interest in it because United are so crap. And I don't keep an eye on the other games. I was driving back from Old Trafford actually on Saturday, so I had to listen to Spurs Chelsea on the radio. It looked like a very good game. I would like to watch Arsenal Spurs, but I think I'm going to be out on Sunday. So what's the other derby? Is it Liverpool Everton?
Liverpool Everton, yeah.
Yeah. I would like to do those, but I'm out on Sunday, so it's that time of year, isn't it?
Everything starts getting busy now, doesn't it?
Liverpool on the attack here with Mane. And I think you'll get a free kick there. No, ref says play on. That's we never mention the referees, but obviously the way the referee refs it is interesting. I'm looking forward to watching Verratti tonight. He's a player that's been linked to United quite a lot. A very, very small player, and he's just picked up a foul there. But he's a very. I think he'd be too small for the Premier League, to be honest. And I know you can't really say that, but I can. And Mbappe with half a chance there, but. He looks like he could run away with this midfield tonight. So keep an eye on Verratti. He's a very, very small player, which I've said about 4 times, but he has got good range of passing. He's quite tenacious, so keep your eye out for him.
So in the opening exchanges of my game, Dele Alli's gone down in the penalty area already. Looked at the ref. The ref waved it away straight away. Didn't even need a second look. So that's the only thing that's happened so far. But Spurs pressing. They are attacking. They're keeping the ball well. The pitch at Wembley is much better than what it has been lately, which is a good thing because we might get a decent, exciting game of football tonight.
Weird corner routine from PSG here, refusing to put the ball into the box. Went short to Neymar, who took a tumble, and now Liverpool are on the break. So waste of an opportunity from a corner there. But Verratti's won it back here. Oh no, it's a throw into Liverpool.
Nearly coming up to 3 minutes, and Inter Milan just are chasing shadows at the minute. It's all Spurs running. Harry Kane's running the right hand channel. I think that was Skriniar who put a tackle in on him then.
I think this is already looking like 3 minutes in, being a very good game end to end. A bit like the Anfield game, to be honest, although I think PSG. Ooh, Salah was nearly in there. I think it's going to be a good end-to-end game because I think both teams, obviously PSG are used to week in, week out in the French Pub League, just battering teams, so they spend so much time attacking. And Liverpool want to attack, so I think it's going to be very, very interesting. Indeed. Thanks for that, George Kyle.
Yeah. Cheers, George.
Get rid of that prat straight away. Thank you. And corner wasted by Liverpool as well. I'm not so sure about how good your game will be, Marcus, because I suppose from Inter Milan's point of view, they pretty much know a draw will put them through. Well, they will, because the gap between Spurs and Inter Milan is 4 and 7, isn't it? So it's 3 points.
Yeah.
So they know a draw, and we know what Italian teams are like. So, a lot of attacking from Spurs, I would have thought.
It's all at the minute. It's all Spurs at the minute. Inter are finding it very hard to pick the ball up, very hard to get their passing game to go together. But Spurs are doing really, really well, pressing the ball high up the pitch. And they're not willing to let Milan settle.
God.
Lucas is finding a lot of space out on that left-hand side. It looks to me like Nangolan should be the one picking up Dele Alli, but every time Dele Alli's getting the ball, Nangolan's trying to stay with him, but he just can't keep up with him.
George, Kyle, are you a drink, mate? You're doing a great job. Moderator George does a very, very good job. But yeah, this is good. This is a good game between Liverpool and PSG. If I just train my brain not to think it's Liverpool and just treat it as a neutral a football match, then it's good. It's end to end at the moment.
Dele Alli again picking the ball up on the edge of the box, looking dangerous. Every time he's getting the ball on the edge, they've got 2 or 3 players around him. But Spurs have got a corner courtesy of Davies.
I don't know what Liverpool fans think, because Gomez is playing at right back. I prefer Gomez and Van Dijk as a centre back pairing. Oh, what a hit! What a hit by I think it's Di Maria, edge of the box, volley, and about half a metre higher, and Alisson can't save this. He does save it, and he palms it away for a corner. It's just a little bit higher, and Alisson's in trouble there. But a good hit by Di Maria. And but yeah, I prefer Trent Alexander-Arnold at right back for Liverpool with Gomez and Van Dijk. I mean, I don't. I prefer Lovren because he's shit. But if I was a Liverpool fan, I would prefer that. I don't know whether we've got any Liverpool fans. Yeah, I am backing PSG. Of course I am. And they could be 1-0 up here. What a save! He's offside anyway. Thiago Silva didn't know he was offside. Cross comes in. He's in the 6-yard box, and Alisson makes a save from the header. And he was offside. He wasn't actually offside. He was onside. So what a save that is.
Liverpool sounding shaky at the back already, Mark.
Yeah. You're right, Lag Spike. I ain't got. I can't back Liverpool because Liverpool are our biggest rivals. It'd be like if last night any Liverpool fan we can get on, but you wanted United to lose. It's just the rivalry, isn't it?
Inter are coming down the left-hand side with Perisic. Dangerous ball in, or Vertonghen gets it away just in time because Icardi was there lurking at the back post, ready for any sort of rebound.
Andy cleverly says, I'm a Liverpool fan, and I agree. I like that back four with Trent, Gomez, Van Dijk and Robertson. I don't know why he plays Lovren. I mean, it's a bit like United with Fellaini. I'm sure Liverpool fans and Arsenal fans love it that we play Fellaini because you would never pick him in your team. And I think Lovren's that player for Liverpool for me. I wouldn't have him anywhere near my team. And I think it's great when Liverpool pick him. I think he's absolute shit. But if I take away my bias, I think Liverpool's best back four is Trent right back with Gomez and Van Dijk up front. But Liverpool just got to ride this storm a little bit at the moment. And there are those Liverpool fans I've spoken to who've said, actually, you know what, this season we're getting really good results, but we're not actually playing that.
Harry Kane just hit the post. Great run by Harry Kane from the left-hand side. Went past two players. Little bit of trickery. Got to the byline. The goalkeeper thought he was going to square it across the box, but he went for goal from a tight angle and it's hit the post.
Yeah.
Just watching replay back. I just want to see if Handanovic does get a touch on it, but Harry Kane, he's knocked it. No, goalie was absolutely rooted to the spot. He thought he was going for a cutback, but Kane went for goal and it's hit the post.
I think Lovren reminds me of Phil Jones. I think you always think he's got a mistake in him, and Liverpool nearly got in on the break there. Marquinhos made the cover. It was him against Salah for pace. It was close. Jazdil says PSG are smashing Liverpool. Well, Di Maria's down injured now. I didn't know snakes could get injuries, but there you go. clutching his muscle. I suppose they've got a muscle.
Another penalty shout there for Spurs. Lucas cutting in from the left-hand side. Very similar to Kane. Bit of trickery. I think it was the right back who sticks his leg out, and Lucas went over a little bit. Could have been given. I've seen him given before, but the referee in this one hasn't obviously given it.
Well, Di Maria is down injured, and United fans are never going to like Liverpool players, but Milner absolutely crunched him. So fair play to him there. Lots of people watching. Please make sure you subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. This is That's Football. Everybody's welcome on here. And get involved.
Spurs seeing plenty of the ball in the final third. Inter Milan are just not getting out quick enough to close them down. They're letting Spurs come in from the left-hand side majority of the time. They're trying. Inter Milan, Dele Alli and Harry Winks are picking up the ball with loads of time and space. Dele Alli again, he's down the right-hand side. Being muscled off it. Good tackle that was. And again, Inter Milan try to break out quick. They tried a long ball to the right-hand side, but it goes out for a throw. But the replay here of Lucas.
Shallow TG. What's happened there, Marcus? Sorry.
The foul on Lucas. It was outside the box, but it should have been a free kick. I mean, it was just he's just put his leg out just to deliberately trip him over, but the referee didn't give it.
We've just had a few people in the live comments saying that if Liverpool lose this, they're not out. Yeah, we'd spoken about that just before kick-off. Liverpool currently on 6 points, Napoli on 6 points. If Liverpool were to lose this game, they would stay on 6 points. If Napoli beat Red Star, they'll go up to 9. You'd expect PSG to beat Red Star, which would put them top of the group, and then it's Liverpool-Napoli in the last game. If Liverpool were then to beat Napoli, they'd both be on 9 points. If Liverpool beat Napoli by 2 goals, they'd go above them into second. So it's not over for Liverpool no matter what happens, really. I mean, personally, I don't know about this head-to-head rule, because I think, if your goal difference over 6 games is quite important, and if Napoli don't get smashed by PSG, which they haven't, then Liverpool did tonight. Advantage there, poor shot by Mbappe, and refs let it go on. Napoli 1-0 up.
Scored.
Yeah. So they won't be losing that game now. They won't be drawing that game now.
Hamsik, apparently, the scorer.
Callum Freezy says that Inter need 1 point or a win to knock Spurs out. Yep, it's win or bust for Spurs. I think it's bust for Spurs anyway, but it'd be great if they could actually get themselves in a situation by beating Inter that they've got to go to the new camp and get something, because I think that'd be a great game.
Yeah. Lee Davis says Thursday night for Liverpool. That would be funny. That would be funny. Champions League finalists, wouldn't they? And then they'd gone straight into the Europa League following season.
I tell you what, it's not good for Liverpool. I've just seen Mick Jagger in the crowd. Now, Mick Jagger, whenever you see him in the crowd for England games, England get knocked out. So there's Verratti coming forward. Mbappe, terrible ball by Mbappe. But 1-0 by PSG. It is 1-0 as well. Mbappe makes a right mess up of it, and but the PSG still pick up the loose ball and go 1-0 ahead. I'm just trying to see who it is who scores. I think I know who it is, but I don't want to. It's Bernard, isn't it? Yeah, number 14. Yeah. So Mbappe gets it in a good position. There's still lots of Liverpool defenders back there. Terrible cross by Mbappe. Van Dijk clears it, but Bernard's quickest to react. Who's the man there again? Lovren. 1-0. Lovren, calamity Lovren. I was just saying about Mick Jagger as well. What are the chances there? They show Mick Jagger in the crowd, and then seconds later, Liverpool go down. The Mick Jagger curse is up and running. But it's 1-0 to PSG. Bernard scores.
So it's still 0-0 in my game. Just over 13 minutes gone. Dele Alli just had a good run through the middle, just over the bar from about 20 yards out. But decent effort. I've not seen Inter Milan have any sort of effort on goal yet whatsoever. It's all Spurs. It's one-way traffic at the minute. Every time Inter try and break out and try and do the quick pass, it's always overhit. I don't think the pitch is helping Inter Milan's game plan either. I mean, it's not the greatest Wembley pitch again, but considerably better than the last time I saw it.
Yeah, for anybody who is... that reminded me, actually, somebody was asking before, what do you think about the FIFA 19 now that you're playing with an Ethernet cable? Because I was just playing wireless. It's good. It's good. But that goal Liverpool just conceded reminded me a lot of FIFA 19 because, you know, you deal with the first ball and then your defenders don't react quicker than the attacker who just comes in and rolls quite a tame shot goal home. So 1-0 to PSG here. Long way back for Liverpool. They've not really settled into this game at all. And for people who are asking about the Mick Jagger thing, so I've been watching football for years. Mick Jagger used to be in the crowd quite a lot for England games in the major tournaments. They'd show him in the crowd and it would always be on games that we lose. So I just mentioned, they showed Mick Jagger and I went, you don't want to see that if you're a Liverpool fan. He's not got a good record with English teams. And within seconds they go 1-0 down. So, yeah. He might be as popular as Ramos.
Yeah, bit of a fortune teller, Mark, isn't you, in your spare time?
Yeah. Oh, chance for Salah? No.
Inter Milan getting a bit of a foothold in the game now. It's took them just the 15 minutes to realise that the long balls aren't going to help. So they're keeping it on the floor now in the midfield. Spurs they're sitting off now, sitting in their own half, letting Inter Milan have it around the back. Skriniar's just picked out a good pass there at Perisic down the left-hand side. Perisic can't do nothing with it, and it goes back.
I know we've got one or two Liverpool fans in the live comments, and I'm sure Marcus will ask if we've got any Spurs in a minute. But I just want to know from Liverpool fans' point of view. I mean, obviously in the Premier League, your street's ahead of United at the moment. I can admit that. But in the Champions League, yes, United have been lucky, but we won in Turin. We beat Young Boys last night. We've obviously still got to go to Valencia. Oh, God, Neymar's just sent Henderson back to kindergarten there. He's absolutely megged him with the back flick. I mean, he's diving all over the place. He's a disgrace, Neymar, but the skill here on Henderson is going to be a meme. He absolutely mugged him off. Absolutely mugged him off. But Gomez came in and gave him some. But from a Liverpool point of view, your Champions League form has been pretty bad. I think you lost in Napoli. You lost, Naples. You lost to Red Star. You're losing to Paris. So, you know, I'm sure if Liverpool did end up in the Europa League, which I don't think they will, by the way, they'll say, oh, United are jammy. But the reality is, it's not been a very, very good record away from home for Liverpool. And I don't watch Liverpool very often, so I'll just be interested to see what some Liverpool fans have got to say about your form this season, because really not made an impact in this Champions League.
I think Brozovic just now on Inter Milan was lucky to get away with that yellow card there. Blatantly just ran across Harry Kane, completely blocked him off, and Harry Kane went tumbling down outside off the pitch. But lucky to get away with that yellow card there, because again, referee, it was really reckless and they had no intention of getting the ball. But Liverpool, there's a great Spurs, sorry. Great run by Ben Davies there into the box, but Dele Alli's pass was just overhit. Great run though by Davies in there. If he'd got on the end of that one, Inter Milan would have been in trouble.
PSG don't half dive a lot though.
They've got them sort of players, don't they? That roll around on the floor. Same with Real Madrid and Barcelona. Mark L says, Mark and Marcus, who would you rather have at United, Neymar or Mbappe? I'd go for Neymar myself. Who'd you go for, Mark? Neymar or Mbappe?
It would be Neymar at the moment.
Yeah.
Where did you go, Mbappe?
Neymar.
Yeah, I mean he's a good player, Mbappe, but I can't stand Neymar. Anybody who watched the World Cup watchalongs, I hate him. I think he's just, I don't like cheats, and he's a cheat. But as a talent, yeah, he's better than Mbappe at the moment.
rumours of him going back to Barcelona, aren't there, next summer? Apparently Barcelona want to get rid of that Dembele kid.
Bruce Wayne's just come back to my question there. I think he's a Liverpool fan. He says, look at their group and look at United's group. What are you talking about? Well, Red Star aren't that good. And United have got Valencia and Juventus. Valencia are a good team, and Juventus are probably the favourites. So what have you got? PSG? Juventus are better than PSG. Napoli? Valencia? Is there that much difference between them? Probably the same. So I'd say they're pretty similar groups, to be honest. What my point was, I wasn't digging to bloody say United are better than Liverpool, because that's not the case. What I'm saying is maybe a bit of luck, but you can't argue with the fact that Liverpool look like they're going to lose 3 Champions League away games, despite their brilliant form last season in the Champions League and a brilliant form in the Premier League. Why do you think they're not performing in Europe away from home? 3 losses in your group is not good, is it?
Eric Lamela just had a cracking shot just outside the box. I thought that took a nick off the defender, but just wide of the left-hand post, always curling away. But that was a bit more straight. Would have given the goalkeeper something to think about, that one. But great effort again from Spurs. They're really driving through the midfield.
I think people are getting lost in this debate here, thinking that I'm turning it into United versus Liverpool. That wasn't what I was saying. I was saying, because we have got some Liverpool fans on here, what do you think about your group, your performances away in Europe this season? Because it looks like you're going to lose all 3. And I disagree. I don't think Liverpool's group's harder than Manchester United's. I think Red Star are slightly better than Young Boys, but Juventus are better than PSG, and I think Valencia are better than Napoli. So, and Liverpool are better than United. So why are Liverpool struggling in the group?
Marius, I haven't stopped playing, mate. It's difficult finding the time to play on the switching between the 2 consoles.
Red Dead's online's out today.
It should have been out yesterday, mate. You should have had an update for it yesterday to play. IMAX. Yeah, there was a update for the game yesterday to access the online, but they had real bad problems with the servers.
What do you do online on Red Dead anyway? Is it just free play? You go around killing people?
Yeah, you go around killing people, robbing trains. There's horse racing. There's a bit of liar's dice on there. So there's some poker matches you can play on there and stuff like that. Really worth having a go, mate. Worth having a go. There's an introduction to it as well, which will teach you how to play through it and what you can do and everything. So have a go of it.
Take it it's all about having money and buying things again.
No, not really, because the more jobs you do, obviously the money you earn. I suppose it's like equivalent of heists in GTA. If you got a posse together, and or you can just join random people and go and rob some people, rob some trains, loot them, sell it all off and make your money that way. But, Jazzdale says it's like GTA.
I'll have a look over the next few days.
Yeah.
Mark, oh yeah, somebody just asked that. Amadale Cut for Liverpool says, Mark, that's not the pass I played Goldbridge. Liverpool have still got a chance of going through even if they lose tonight. And to be honest, while it's only 1-0, they've got, I do fancy Liverpool to score. I don't think they've started very well. Remember, I predicted Liverpool would win 3-1, but they've got to get into this game. They've been very, very poor this first 22 minutes. Very, very poor.
So we've got a corner here for Inter Milan. First bit of pressure, I think, they put on in the first just over 23 minutes now.
Emmerdale Cup tomorrow. Vorskla v Arsenal. Answers on a postcard where they're from.
That corner comes to nothing, and Spurs again in no rush to just long ball it forward, unlike a certain other team yesterday. Quite happy just playing it across the ground, waiting for the gaps to appear. And as I say that, Vertonghen just lumps it forward to Harry Kane and they lose possession.
Ooh, yellow card for Verratti. I thought he got the ball first, but it was a nasty foul. and he's late on Gomez, who's actually fine. So looked like he got the ball first and then stood second.
Inter Milan just passing it around the back at the minute, trying to make Tottenham come and chase them down, but Spurs aren't having it. They're quite content to just let them sit there and have it. They can't do no damage. Oh, Perisic out for a goal kick. Spurs. Very disappointing by Inter Milan so far. Son's warming up, so I think there could be a bit of an injury to someone.
Liverpool having a bit of possession here at the moment, so that's a good one.
Stuart Collins says, disgusting tackle on Gomez, should have been a red.
To be honest with you, I didn't. I did see it, and it wouldn't have surprised me.
Yeah. And George Carr says, fair challenge player.
They haven't shown a replay of it, so...
So a bit of a late foul there by Davies on... I didn't see who it was now, but it was late. Didn't see his name.
I think the next goal is going to be key in this game. Liverpool sort of trying to push to get a goal, but I think if PSG get one on the break, it will... I'll tell you what I've liked Verratti tonight. I know he's got that yellow card, and that just for a little player, that just shows exactly what I mean about Verratti. He's got a real tenacious side to him. He's just not the sort of player Mourinho would ever go for. Mino Raiola, agent. Mane wanted a handball there, it would have been harsh.
It's a long ball lumped up to Icardi, but absolutely nowhere near him. Mistake by Lloris. Perisic picks up on it. Try to get it across the face of goal, but out for a corner. Inter Milan. But poor distribution from Lloris to Harry Winks. I mean, he's literally 10 yards in front of him, and the pass is nowhere near him.
Yeah, a few people on about Verratti. I do really like him, and for an Italian, obviously he spent a lot of his career in France. And I think his next move will be back to Italy, because the Italian league is on the up, and obviously it wasn't probably as prominent as it is now. So I think he will go to Italy, but he's a very, very good player, and I think he would be good in the Premier League. Yeah. What's the Rabiot news, Phil Mitchell? I know he's available for free in the summer. I think he's going to Barca, isn't he?
The Spurs are taking their time at the minute over this goal kick. The Spurs have had 4 attempts, 2 on target, to Inter Milan's 1 attempt, 0 on target. Aurier and I think it's Sissoko down that right hand side, doing really well linking up. Harry Kane nearly there, got the ball off the Inter Milan goalkeeper. Spurs are putting the pressure on again now, pressing the ball high up the pitch again. Harry Winks just been penalised for a foul off the ball. Ahmed Bracco says Neymar versus Salah. How's that going, Mark? Is that a good battle?
Salah's not really got into the game much at the moment. This is a bit of a role reversal of the game at Anfield. PSG have got that home advantage and they're dictating the play. Liverpool trying to do bits, but it's not really coming off at the moment. And it does remind me of the Anfield game where Liverpool were the more dominant team with the home support, and PSG wasn't really coming off for them. But Liverpool have grown into the game a little bit over the last sort of 10 minutes, whereas the first 20 minutes they were struggling a little bit. Make sure
all
you
the
subscribe
Warriors
to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. Let's see if we can get up to 50,500 tonight. So if you are new to the channel, bottom right hand corner, give it a subscribe. This is where we do watch-alongs and things, but also this is the channel where I do my FIFA stuff as well, actually. So if you weren't aware of that, get subscribing. But Liverpool on the attack here, cross to the back post. Firmino has a bit, and it's back across the face of the goal, and PSG clear.
All the Warriors just been caught out there. He's picked up a yellow card for his troubles. There was a flick on by Perisic, headed on between Alderweireld and Vertonghen. Neither of them wanted to clear the ball. Icardi ran through, and Alderweireld just blatantly took him out. But free kick comes in and it hits the wall. So so far, I think it's only Alderweireld with the yellow card. I don't think Brozovic got one for his tackle on Harry Kane. I think he got away with that one. But Inter Milan starting to put the pressure on there.
F1 watch-alongs might be back next season, Max Clayton. Yeah, hopefully. I enjoyed those when I did them. What was I going to say? The Neymar Salah battle, I would say Neymar is shading it, obviously. But Mbappe's been very poor, I think. His passing's off. His timing's a bit off at the moment, but obviously a very dangerous player. Verratti nicking it again there, and Neymar's off on a run. Into Mbappe in the box. Cross comes in. Oh, again, you've got to say that's very, very good goalkeeping from Alisson, but they're still on the attack. Little chip, and Alisson again. Alisson's keeping Liverpool in it here. Cross came in from Mbappe. It's a really good cross, and Alisson is brave to get at the feet of Cavani.
Spurs have got a 3v2 here. If he picks out the right pass, Dele Alli's let it run. Oh, unlucky. Sissoko picked it up in his own half, nicked it off the Inter Milan left back, who pushed way too far forward, ran with the ball a good 40 yards straight across outside the penalty box. Dele Alli let it run. Lucas Moura outside the area hit it low and hard to the goalkeeper's left, but he could have had an extra touch there, took it in a little bit further. Great opportunity for Spurs.
I'm just going to give people just talking a little bit about other things there. I'll give you a very, very quick tip, because Liverpool are passing the ball around the back at the moment. If you've got Netflix, watch The Last Kingdom. You may not have watched any of it. Season 3's out at the moment. First 2 seasons were on BBC. They couldn't afford to pay for it anymore, so Netflix picked it up. Season 3's brilliant. Give it a watch. If you like Vikings, you like Game of Thrones, And if people say, "Oh, the first season," remember Game of Thrones' first season took a bit of time to get going. It's brilliant. It's on Netflix at the moment. You might have to search for it because it didn't come up on my recommendations, but The Last Kingdom, it's brilliant.
So just coming up to 31 minutes here. Spurs definitely been the better team in just over the first half hour. Much better, much brighter. Their passing's been really crisp. Oh, Dele Alli would have been in there if his first touch had been a little bit better. Skriniar lucky to hack it away there out for a throw-in. Lamela is causing all sorts of problems in the midfield at the minute.
They haven't got that goal yet, though. They need that goal.
No. Yeah. I think if they keep playing the way they're playing now, it's only a matter of time. Inter Milan are very penned in. They had a good 5 to 7 minute spell round about the 20-minute mark, but they've done nothing since then. The Spurs are keeping the ball well, playing it from left to right. They're not afraid to switch the play. Great ball down the line there.
Andy Pandy says Spurs not safe in this game.
Dele Alli's through. Oh, laid back, just cleared away. Harry Kane was waiting. It's coming back in again. It's blocked. Inter Milan at 6s and 7s at the back at the minute.
Brand New makes a good point. Liverpool avoided all the big boys until the final last year. The
Spurs are coming again. The Spurs can definitely smell blood now. They're absolutely going for it. So Vertonghen's picking it up.
Another yellow card here, Joe Gomez. I wasn't looking at the screen, but I could pretty much predict it was going to be on Neymar. Didn't really do much, to be fair. Bit unlucky. I did hear Sarri's comments on Kante, Ryan Beals, basically saying he doesn't want him to play in the CDM role. He wants somebody with a little bit more better on the ball, effectively. So he mentioned Jorginho and somebody else, but I cannot stand Neymar. He is such a bloody diver.
Napoli have scored again. I think that's 3 points in the bag for Napoli, definitely. I think it was Mertens that scored that one, second one. But even when Inter Milan are pressurising Spurs, Spurs back line are so comfortable with the ball at their feet. They're willing to pass it out, not rush. The movement off the ball from the centre backs is absolutely fantastic. There's always an option. There's always a pass available. But again, Inter Milan trying to go long ball down the right hand side, cut out by Davies quite easily. Inter Milan fans beating the drum in the away end. That looked a bit of a rough tackle there on Lucas, yeah. Bit of an elbow to the ribs. What was that?
Just while we're having a bit of a quiet patch in this game, bottom right hand corner, make sure you subscribe to the channel and get involved with That's Football. It's great to see so many people involved with different views from different clubs, because that's what we do on here. I know we do the United stand, that's obviously all about United, but on here, watch-alongs for all the big games, and Mbappe's on the attack here, and that is a fantastic save again, but Neymar is there to make it 2-0. I tell you who I feel sorry for tonight. I feel sorry for Alisson. I mean, some of his saves have been brilliant. Mbappe with the cross, Cavani from 6 yards out, Alisson saves it, and there again, the second ball, PSG are winning it in the box. It's 2-0, and Neymar there to tap it home. And you would think that might be game over. It's a very, to be fair, the work, this is the good side of Neymar. Absolutely brilliant in the build-up play with Mbappe. Fantastic save by Alisson from Cavani, but Neymar's there just to pass it home very, very easily. So 2-0, and probably deserved. I think Liverpool have huffed and puffed a little bit after going 1-0 down, but it's 2-0, and I think it's going to be a long way back. And as I said before, if we've got any Liverpool fans in the live comments, I'm sure you're going to say United are very lucky to go through, but you can only beat what's in front of you. And 3 losses it's looking like 3 losses in your Champions League away games. I mean, if you go through, I think they probably will still go through because they'll probably beat Napoli. But it's, do you deserve to go through when you lose 50% of your games and get nothing away from home? I don't know what's going on with Liverpool. I haven't watched much of Liverpool this season. But tonight was always going to be a very tough game, and I'm not going to judge them on getting beaten by PSG, because obviously PSG in Paris are a good side. But I do wonder why Liverpool are struggling away from home so much this season.
Harry Kane was nearly in there with a slick bit of passing between Dele Alli and Kane. A couple of 1-2s on the edge of the box, but Skriniar managed to slide and clear the ball. Spurs are looking really good in and around the penalty box. Their passing is so slick. They're not rushing. They're not hoofing the ball in there. They're quite confident the goal will come.
Hakil Hall says, there you go, Manx, got what you wanted. Thanks for the contribution. A lot of United fans in there saying, have that, Liverpool. Normally I'd be the same, but I've got to be honest with you. I don't think there's a lot of credibility. There's a lot of credibility in the fact that they're our rivals and we enjoy them not doing well, but I don't think we're in much of a position to talk at the moment. But it is a nice little break from watching us play, isn't it, to be honest with you? So there you
go. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't get to watch much football outside of United games anyway, so I love doing this, watching other teams educates me a bit, So I like to see the players that we're linked to as well, because I won't go out my way and search them up or anything like that. I like to actually see them in action. But Spurs just hit the crossbar.
So that's the post and the crossbar.
Yeah, what a shot that was. I think that was Winks. About 10 yards outside of the penalty box. What a shot that was. Goalie, absolutely no chance. He went for it. I'm not sure if he got a finger tip to tip it onto the bar, but what a cracking shot that was. Going to see the replay now. It's definitely Harry Winks who's hit that one. Got the pass from Lamela. He's dead centre. What a hit that was. What an absolute hit. So he just called goalie, no chance. Absolutely no chance. He went for it, but he didn't even get a hand to it. Not even a fingertip. And it's hit the bar. It's rattled the crossbar. A fantastic strike. But it's still 0-0. Spurs definitely warrant winning this game. But yeah, they've hit the post. Harry Kane's hit the post. Now Winks has hit the crossbar. Perisic just tried to do a bit of skill there, like Lukaku, and left the ball behind him.
Was that Neymar celebration Fortnite then? Anybody know?
Aurier's on the right hand side. Dele Alli is making some fantastic runs from the edge of the box into the penalty area, and he's just not being picked up at all. Header out by Goldbridge. And Inter Milan try to come out, and that's a foul by Lucas. Inter Milan very, very fortunate to still be 0-0. So I've got just over 4 minutes till half time. Nangolan seems to be suffering a bit. They've got someone warming up on the sideline.
So 2-0 to Napoli at the moment, says Ross Freeman. 2-0 to PSG. It's what puts PSG on 8 points. Liverpool would remain on 6 points. Napoli would go up to 9 points. You'd expect PSG to beat Red Star in the final game, so that would put PSG through. All going to come down to Anfield and Napoli. And I think, if I'm right, I think all Liverpool need to do is beat Napoli by 2 goals to go through. I think, if anyone in the live comments knows.
So Dele Alli just wasted a 2v2 opportunity there. Picked up the ball from Lucas and tried one step over too many. Lost control. But Spurs, they're not afraid. They know they've got nothing to lose. Son's still out warming up down the touchline, so probably expect to see him sometime in the second half. Really strange, Christian Eriksen's on the bench again. Aurier down the right. Dele Alli making that run. He's ignored him.
Pick Lovren, get banged, innit? I said that at the start. Liverpool need to win by 3, apparently. I don't know why that is, because I'm sure Napoli only beat them 1.
Lamela went to the byline there, inside the penalty box, and Asamoah just got a toe on it to clear away for a corner. Inter Milan hanging on, coming towards the end of the first half.
Now, David says that Liverpool need to beat Napoli by 3-0 because they lost 2-0.
Corner swung in, cleared away.
Napoli currently winning 2-0 anyway.
Bit of a loose ball there by Vertonghen. Give it away to Perisic. Perisic. Again, the ball it's a lazy ball forward down the right hand side from Inter Milan. Their passing has been absolutely terrible tonight. But just seeing the replay back from Harry Winks' shot. I mean, the goalie, the ball goalie's about 2 or 3 yards off his line, but the ball has dipped that much, it's hit the crossbar.
Napoli beat them 1-0. Just checked it on BBC. I thought it was 1-0. So they need to win 2-0, which is obviously not unachievable for Liverpool at Anfield, where the crowd will be up for it. But, I know there's some Liverpool fans not happy in the live comments. And the reality is, I think, is he giving a penalty? Is he giving a free kick? I think that looks like a penalty to me. Liverpool, dangerous tackle on Mane.
Harry Kane's just had a shot inside the penalty area on his left foot, hit the side net and deflected out for a corner. In it comes. Oh, Lucas. Oh, he'd give it for a free kick. I mean, the goalkeeper saved it. It was straight at him, but Lucas judged to have been climbing on the back of Nangolan. I didn't see anything wrong there, to be honest.
I think Liverpool have got a penalty here.
So, 44 minutes. Nangolan's gone off. Who's coming on? Valero. Borja Valero has come on. Nangolan's clutching the back of his calf, so probably a hamstring injury.
It was a penalty, is what I'm going to say. So I think they have got the penalty. It was a penalty. It was in the box. But I think Liverpool, it looked like he was going to give a free kick, but it's been just messed about with that. Yes, it is a penalty. And Milner doesn't miss these. Normally.
Buffon in goal?
Buffon in goal. You know what? It was a penalty. It was a stupid tackle. I think he tried to get him just before he went into the box, but it was a penalty.
Oh, Lamela lucky to get away with one there. He's got in 2-footed, both feet off the ground, and he's caught Brozovic. Oh, I'm going to say he could have been sent off for that one. And
Milner scores. Milner scores 2-1. So Liverpool, I would say, do not deserve that. They do not deserve to be going in at half-time at 2-1, and PSG will be really, really pissed off. But what I would say in the half-time whistle is the dickhead who made the tackle, you didn't need to make it there. He's right. He's miles away from the goal. It's a stupid tackle. I said though, Milner don't miss those. 2-1, game on, and Liverpool fans will take a lot of satisfaction from that, because you probably would say you don't deserve it. It's definitely a penalty. Stupid tackle by PSG. They've given Liverpool a bit of hope in this game.
I think after Lamela's tackle, Tottenham should think themselves a bit lucky here, still having 11 men on the pitch. Really poor tackle from Lamela, 2 feet off the ground, like a stamp. Oh, Inter are in. No, great defending by Aurier, gets it away.
Sometimes like Inter are coming back into that game a little bit.
They are coming. They're starting to settle. It's took a while. It has took a while. I mean, the last 10, 15 minutes, they've been trying to get the ball on the ground and press high up the pitch, and they're waiting for Spurs to make a mistake. But saying that, Harry Kane, oh no, goalkeeper's come out and got it.
I think it was Kim Bempe who made the tackle.
So half time.
Yeah, half time in this game, and yep. I think PSG will feel stupid because it was a stupid tackle. Did Man United deserve to win yesterday? No. So yeah, Hakeem Hall. Look, what do I keep saying anything about Liverpool don't deserve it or anything like that? What I'm saying is, in the balance of the game, they don't deserve to be going in 2-1 up. But if you're a Liverpool fan, you've got to be very, very happy with that. And actually, it was a stonewall penalty. It was a stupid tackle by the PSG defender. And if I was his teammate, I'd be like, you bloody idiot. We had that game won and now we've made it hard of ourselves. But you're not going to get a United sympathiser from me. We were terrible. It was Di Maria who made the tackle as well. Fucking, what a prick. But for people who are saying it's not a penalty, I've spoken about this with Anthony Martial before. The sliding tackle goes in. Mane's already diving a little bit, but then there's contact, so it's a penalty. You know, it's the people go in on the attacker because they do a little bit of a dive. How's about going in on the twat defender who makes a reckless tackle and gives the attacker the opportunity to go down? I think people twist this diving thing, and I'm not defending Mane. I'm defending Martial, because Martial's done this. If a defender leaves their foot or does a stupid slide tackle that's not getting the ball, as an attacker, I'm going to go, right, I'm going over it. Yeah, it's a dive, but the tackle's reckless. You've given me an opportunity. That's all down to Di Maria's stupid tackle, if it was Di Maria.
So my game's finished 0-0. Finished half time, 0-0. Yeah, Inter Milan came back into it at the end of the half, but I mean Tottenham, they should be. They're very unlucky to not be ahead in this game. They've hit the post from Harry Kane. Harry Winks has hit the bar. They could have had a penalty on Dele Alli in the first couple of minutes, but they're showing real good patience. I mean, for a young team, they are being patient about it. They're not forcing the issue. They're knowing, they're believing that the goal's going to come, providing they keep on playing the way they are, which is a great way of playing the game. It's a very entertaining game, very attractive way of playing football. So fair play to them. But I think they're fortunate to be 10, 11 men still on the pitch. Lamela could have quite easily got the red card for the two-footed stamp. Both feet were off the ground, and letter of the law says if both feet are off the ground, and it's a red card, so he only got a yellow for it. So still 11v11 at the minute.
Make sure you subscribe to the channel at the moment. Marcus is watching Spurs Inter. I'm watching PSG Liverpool. It's half time in both games. We'll give you the roundup of all the Championship games as well, and the Champions League games. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. Get involved in the channel. Everyone's welcome here. It would be nice to get up to 50,500 tonight. So subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Get involved in the chat. We do watchalongs on here. This is where I do my FIFA stuff on here as well. If you enjoy it, get involved. Lots of people watching, which is great. I do worry about. I'm going to talk about Liverpool game in a minute, but I do worry about Spurs. I think this is the sort of game, you play an Italian team that they know a point puts them through, and it's the sort of game that Spurs, it's that question mark with Spurs. On their day, they're brilliant, but do they just lack that little bit of know-how in these big games? And I do worry about Spurs. I hope they can get the goal, because I think it will set it up brilliant for the Barcelona game. But if they draw, they're in the Emmerdale Cup. So it's. And Hakil Hall says it's football. Sometimes you get what you don't deserve. Well, that brings me on to a comment I just saw in the live comments here, just talking about the Liverpool game very, very quickly. Evith says that's what happens when you play attacking football, isn't it? You end up creating something, and it was a stonewall penalty because it was a dumb tackle. And I think that's right. PSG probably feel aggrieved to be going in at 2-1. They probably think there should be a bigger gap than that. But the reality is, you're right. I don't think Liverpool played particularly well in that half. But the one thing Liverpool are going to do with the players they've got, they're going to attack. They did attack. A bit of stupidity from a PSG Di Maria. They get a penalty. They score a penalty. They go in at half-time 2-1. You've got to be happy with that if you're a Liverpool fan. But you're right. If we were 2-0 down with United in Paris, Mourinho would just be thinking about how do I keep it to 2. We wouldn't be trying to get back into the game. We'd be like, this game's already lost. Let's just sit back and try and stop getting beat 3 or 4, 5-0. But I said this before, Klopp won't think like that. He'll be like, no, I've got the players who might get something out of this game. And who's to say they don't go and get a draw? We'll have to wait and see in the second half. Shay Smith says, I'm a Manchester United fan, but it's a penalty stone wall. And Milner is cold-blooded. He does score those. Do you think we will be playing in the Emmerdale Cup next season, says Mark L. I actually do think that Manchester United will be in the Europa League next season, Marcus. I don't know about you. We're not going to win the Champions League, and we're not going to get top 4. So that puts you into. Well, we might not be in it because we might not qualify for it. I don't know where you have to finish to qualify, because I think United might end up. The best we could do might be 6th. Does that put you in the Europa League? I don't know, but I don't think we'll be in the Champions League.
No, I totally agree. I don't think we'll be in the Champions League either. It will take a monumental task to win it. I don't think we're ever going to win it. I think the round 16 is going to be as far as we go. I think we'll be knocked out in this round. I think the best case scenario for United next season would be for them to finish outside of the Europa League, and then just concentrate on the Premier League, no Europe, for a season, and then just focus primarily on the Premier League, have a real good go at it, and then see where that takes us going into the 2021 season. So, I think, the way we're playing at the minute, I just cannot see us. It's like we're playing like a mid-table team. You know, that's what I've come to expect from Mourinho when United play. And it's sad to say, but I do believe it. I do believe that we are playing like a mid-table side, and we shouldn't be. Not with the players we've got.
Yeah, well, we will be doing On the United Stand on Saturday, back again, 5:30, Manchester United versus Southampton, previewing it tomorrow. I think it's going to be a very interesting game. But tonight we've got two games where we don't really have to think about United, which is nice. We just get to watch, Marcus is watching Spurs Inter. Spurs got to score in that second half. Do you think they will do it, or do you think it's? I don't. I think Spurs aren't going to win tonight. I just think I want them to. I just think they won't. I think this is the sort of game that they fail at.
No, do you know what? I'm going to be the complete opposite. I think I've seen enough from the first half to think that they're going to get the result that they need tonight. Inter Milan have offered nothing. They've had spells in the first half where they've had a good bit of possession, but Inter Milan not really threatened at all. But every time Spurs go forward, you're right.
No, I've just be honest. I hadn't really. They didn't show the replay of it in the game. Verratti's tackle, real time, looked bad. They've just shown it back. It's a red. I hate to say it, but it's a red card. He should have been sent off.
Basically, mate, I've seen enough of the first half to think Spurs will win this game. To be honest, they've not sat back. They've really gone for the throat. Inter Milan at times they've been at 6s and 7s at the back. They don't seem very well organised. Spurs, they've come close. They've hit the post. Harry Kane's had a deflected shot going to the side netting, which wasn't far away. Harry Winks has hit the bar. I don't remember Lloris having to make a save at all in the first half. Icardi's looked very quiet. Perisic looks a danger man on the left hand side, but again, it's Inter Milan don't get the time to get the ball out to him. Spurs aren't letting Inter Milan settle. When they come into Spurs' half, they're at them straight away. So I quite fancy Spurs to get the result they're looking for tonight.
George Carl says it's a fair challenge. Look, to be fair, Gomez plays for England. I think he's got potential to be a good player for England, and I'm back interested in England now. And that tackle by Verratti could have snapped his leg. His leg was planted, and Verratti comes in on it. It was nasty. If that, again, I'm not. I don't wish injury on any player, whether they play from a rival or not. So it was filth. And if that had been on Martial, I'd be crying if it broke his leg. So I think it's a definite red card. And just watching the penalty back, I'm not going to lie, Neymar definitely. Sorry, Neymar's a cheat. I always think about Neymar when I'm thinking about cheats. Mane definitely is going down before the tackle, but it's actually, I applaud him. Very, very clever play. Di Maria's tackle is ridiculous. Mane sees it and thinks, Mr. Tumble, I'm going down. Penalty, as far as I'm concerned. I've got no issues with that. Let's have a look at the championship scores. Some cheeky git has just said Forest are winning. I've got no idea, so let's go and have a look. To be honest, I always find this quite interesting because the only time I ever look at championship scores tends to be when we're doing these watch-alongs. So let's get the championship table up and the championship scores. But I'm going to hold my hands up here and say I'm stunned I didn't know this game was going off tonight. It's Villa Forest at Villa Park, which is only about 20 minutes away from me. 3-4 after 50 minutes.
Wow.
It looks absolutely amazing. Let's have a look. So we're just doing the championship scores here. I don't know when I'm just trying to see when the goals have gone in.
So Ilya and Jacob reckons it's going to be 1-0 to Inter Milan. And I think it was Ilya that said Icardi to get the winner.
So Forest went 1-0 up, 2-0 up, then Villa made it 2-2, then Forest made it 3-2, then Villa made it 3-3, and then Forest have just made it 4-3. It was 3-3 at half time. Bloody hell, that sounds like a cracker. Ipswich 1-1 with Bristol, Millwall losing to Birmingham, Swansea losing at home to West Brom 2-1, Wigan beating Blackburn, and Stoke beating Derby, which, to be honest, I'm more interested in Derby. I think because Lampard came to Old Trafford and played us off the park, I would really like to see Derby going up. And it sounds really weird because I hate Derby because I grew up in Nottingham, and I don't like Lampard because he used to play for Chelsea. But to be honest with you, the style of football they're playing, I think, is very impressive. But the Championship is ridiculous. You've got Norwich on top with 37 points. And then 7th place, you've got Derby on 31. So you've got 6 points separating the top 7. There's a bit of a gap then down to QPR. Currently at the top of the Championship, you've got Norwich, Leeds in second, and then you've got Middlesbrough, West Brom, Sheffield United, Forest, and Derby in the 7. So we'll keep an eye. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on that Villa Forest game, simply because it's a banger by the sounds of it. But there you go. Joy
See you later, Ryan.
Thinks it's going to be 1-1 between Inter and Tottenham.
Do you know what? I've not seen, honest to God, there has been nothing from Inter Milan. I don't think Lloris has had a save to make. I think they've had possibly 2, and I'm going to be generous, maybe say 3 attempts, but nothing has been on target at all. Tottenham look the likelier to score. They've got the better game plan. Inter Milan, actually, you could say, like United on an away game. They just sit back, not bother attacking. Really poor display, I think, from Inter Milan tonight. But like you said, Mark, knowing that a draw is enough, it's hard to get that mentality out of them, to actually think, okay, go out there and play a game of football and win the game. Don't settle for a draw before kickoff. So
I think Inter Milan have ended up in a very similar situation to Manchester United's group, to be honest. I don't think Inter Milan are better than Spurs. I just think that it's a bit like I don't think Manchester United are better than Valencia. I just think that Spurs and Valencia have dropped silly points in the Champions League group, and maybe Inter and United got some lucky results, and it's meant that Spurs are going to run out of time, Valencia are going to run out of time. Effectively, Valencia should have beat us at Old Trafford. Valencia should not have drawn with Young Boys, and those dropping of points have meant that the last game of the group, Valencia United in Valencia, should have been Valencia's opportunity to topple us and get into the top 2 with Juventus. But it's just not worked out like that, and I think that's what's going to happen with Spurs. I think their bad start is going to cost them. I don't, even if they beat Inter, I just don't think they're going to get anything in the Nou Camp, and they've effectively run out of time, which is why you've got to hit it fast. You've got to hit it fast.
George, Icardi's been very quiet for the first half. I mean, he's made a couple of good runs off the ball. His movement has been good. It's allowed Nainggolan and Perisic to get in, through the central positions, but I can't remember him having a shot at all. He's never looked threatening at all. But it's the movement off the ball has been really good. But it's the same as Dele Alli. Dele Alli's movement is creating space for Winks and Lucas off the left-hand side to cut in. Dele Alli just always seems to have 2 or 3 people around him, and now Nainggolan's gone off in the first half. I'm wondering if they're going to still have the man marker on him. But I've got my teams coming out now, ready for the second half. Eric Lamella's got a whacking great patch on his forehead. I didn't see him take a knock in that first half. I think Spurs just keep on doing what you're doing. They played really well in the first half. There's no need to change the game plan. It will be interesting to see how they approach the second half now. Whether they're actually going to go gung-ho for it and throw everything at them. But time will tell. The Spurs are going to be now kicking from right to left. And again, loads of empty seats at Wembley. The Spurs playing exactly the same way, keeping the ball on the floor, keeping possession.
We've just hit 50,400 subscribers, which is fantastic. Everybody's getting involved. If you haven't subscribed yet, bottom right hand corner, please do subscribe and get involved with the channel on That's Football. FIFA Ultimate Team's back now at 1 o'clock, normally on my lunch break. Going well since the Ethernet cable. I've got to give Marcus an assist on that. He said you've got to get it. If you go online, I'd never really realised this before. It's common sense. I've been playing FIFA for a long time, and I always just play wireless when I'm online. And he said, get an Ethernet cable, plug it into your router and into your PS4, and notice the difference. And you notice the difference. There's no button delay. There's nothing like that. There's still the scripting of FIFA, as we saw today. Some ridiculous goals, but I can live with that. What I can't live with is the bloody lag and the button delay that makes it unplayable. And if you're playing against somebody who has got an Ethernet cable in and you're playing wireless, you're giving them a massive advantage.
Yeah. Philip, maybe Pochettino did give him a slap at half time. Yeah, maybe. But Inter Milan got a free kick here, just outside their area. So, but Spurs still doing the same. They're not rushing.
So we're just about to kick off. Have you kicked off already?
Yeah.
All right, well, yeah, we're still waiting here. Von Gola says, what's happened to Xander? Nothing. I saw him on the live comments earlier on.
David Rauer says we have a cap on our attendance for the rest of the season. Oh, okay.
Who, Spurs?
Yeah.
So they can't fill Wembley effectively.
Yeah. Jasdale Skriniar he's been really solid, you know. I mean, whenever Spurs have been in dangerous positions, he's always the first person there. I mean, Spurs.
Hey Marcus, pick up on this just very quickly. Non-football related from George Kyle with a condescending comment saying the best thing today was when you blamed the rain for lag. The rain can affect your internet, can't it?
Who are you with, Virgin?
Yeah.
Yeah, it can. Yeah, definitely. Any sort of cold weather, it depends on the cable, because in London, my cable used to run outside from the exchange box, and I had a box on the front of the house, and it used to run then through the front of the house into the living room. And any sort of, even, you know, as stupid as it sounds, even cobwebs can interfere with it, because if you get spiders and that fucking around inside the box, it can mess it up.
Sit down, George Kyle.
It can, yeah.
He doesn't know everything. He's just, you know, we call him Stato, but he's got that. He's made himself look stupid there. Rain can affect your Wi-Fi.
Yeah, Virgin and BT are known for having problems with internet, especially in bad. I get it because I can only.
I used to get it with Sky years ago. I haven't been with Sky for a long time. I've been with Virgin for a long time. But when I used to have Sky, about 2 or 3 houses ago, if it chucked it down with rain, it was crap. And that's a satellite dish, wasn't it? So
yeah, but see, things have changed now. See, I have with their ultimate fibre optic stuff, it runs off the Sky Q box. But the only disappointing thing for that is
he's offside anyway. But Stuart Collins Jr. just said we're going to come back from this easy. Just as I read it, PSG scored, but it was offside, and he is offside. But I don't think you're going to come back. I think I can safely say, Stuart, you're not going to come back from this easy. I'm not saying you can't come back, but you ain't going to come back from it easy unless you absolutely change the way you're playing in this game.
So Inter Milan have just had, for me, their first dangerous attempt, but it went horribly wide. A layoff from Icardi outside of the penalty box. And I think it's Valero who had the shot, and it's gone way wide.
It's a good start from PSG. This, and there's a lot of diving in this game. I think both teams are putting in the tackles. Liverpool as well. They're really pressing well here, and they've won it back well with Wijnaldum, and now Mane. Good play by Van Dijk. They're still in their own half, but they've worked it well. A foul. There's a lot of fouls. Very stop-start game. Samir says Liverpool are going to win, and Lamella has sustained a cut from the Palace game that he has a plaster.
Okay, David. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Anything's possible in football, says Dot. That's their name. It is.
See,
Verratti's got to be careful as well. I mean, the one thing that I would say in Liverpool's favour, and they're on the attack here with Milner. Oof. Tell you what, Firmino, if he'd been on his toes, it was a good cross. The one thing that might help Liverpool in this game is a second yellow card for Verratti, because he's playing in a position where I think he's going to have to make tackles, obviously, and I think this ref's got a red card in him. But that works both ways for Liverpool.
Harry Kane, or comfortably saved by the keeper. Harry Kane picking it up on the left-hand channel, cutting inside on his right foot, curling shot from the corner of the penalty area, but it's straight at the goalkeeper.
There's a PSG player down here at the moment, Di Maria. Again, against the Liverpool fans, if we've got any, what's going on with Keita and Fabinho? I would swap Fabinho for Matic tomorrow. I like Fabinho. I do. I hated it when Liverpool signed him. I do like him. I don't know why it's not working out for him. But Keita's even more surprising. Naby Keita, Liverpool fans knew they were signing him this time last year. They had to wait till the summer to get him. And apparently, he was the next big thing. He's the real deal, and he can't even get his Christmas now. He can't even get in the team. It's a bit similar to Fred, I think. That's why I asked the question, because Liverpool fans might say, "Well, what's happening with Fred?" And I would say, as a United fan who knows everything about the club because I'm a fan, Fred should be playing for us, and I'm not happy about it. But what's the deal with Fabinho and Keita from a Liverpool fan perspective? Are they on the verge of being flops, or are they just Because I know Henderson and Milner and Wijnaldum do well, but let's be honest, you're going to play Keita and Fabinho if they're playing to their best capability.
Or Lucas just sent... Who was that? I think the left back for Inter Milan. Lucas come down the right-hand side, a couple of step-overs. Left back was absolutely left on his arse. Thankfully for Inter Milan, it's gone out for a corner, deflected off. But there was... The Spurs players were queuing up in the box there, just waiting for the cutback.
I don't think they're going to do it, but I hope you are giving us a Spurs goal at some point in the next half an hour. A few Liverpool fans are just telling me here, updating. Jack Flannery says, get Henderson out for Fabinho. Well, I do know a lot about Henderson, because obviously Henderson played for England in the World Cup, and I think he does an okay job, but I have to say there's surely better. But a few people were just saying there that Keita's actually fell out with Klopp. That's the problem. So there you go. If you don't ask, you don't find out. Keita is awesome. The problem is with Klopp, says Booba Lawson. And Stuart Collins, who we know is a Liverpool fan, says Naby Keita and Klopp have fallen out. So there you go. That explains that. There you go. You learn. Fabinho's too slow for this game. More suited to Red Star games, says Ferk Bra. And... I haven't heard Lukaku's words after the game yesterday, no.
Inter Milan just cannot get out of their penalty area at the minute. It's all Spurs. It's like they're hunting in packs at the minute. I've just seen Porto come up my screen. They're winning 1-0.
We'll have a look. We'll have a go around.
I think it was the guy you was talking about earlier, Mark Milito.
Yeah. So there you go. Scored tonight. I was talking about him on the United stand earlier on our transfer show, because apparently United are interested in him. 20 years old, centre-back. He won't be what Mourinho wants, but if the club are looking at that sort of player, good. Neymar shoots from distance, terrible.
He's put the ball in the net tonight. Napoli are 3-0 up, apparently, according to Ahmed.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make any difference, and I think it should. Napoli could win 10-0, and it doesn't matter. All Liverpool have got to do is beat Napoli by 2 goals in their last game, and they're through. Because it's head-to-head rule, isn't it?
Yeah. So Spurs got a free kick here on the left-hand side. In by Lamela. Cleared away by the Ridge, and the shot from Harry Winks on the volley outside the area has gone out for a throw on the right-hand side.
Neymar hits a free kick into the wall. I mean, PSG have got a lot of good players that don't play. I mean, where's Dani Alves, I presume, is still injured.
I believe someone has got a Google name as Mark, that's not the pass I played, Goldbridge.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That's almost as good as Spank Me Santa.
I love Spank Me Santa. And there's another one I like as well. Oh, it's a Karate Kid quote. I forget what he's called. I can't remember it now. Sander Floor. That's it.
Oh.
So I'm just having a look at the benches options for PSG. Dani Alves is on the bench, actually. Meunier, maybe Meunier's injured, I don't know, because they've got Carrère playing at the right back. Round up of the European games, Dortmund 0-0 with Club Brugge, PSV 0-0 with Barcelona, which is neither here nor there really, but I mean, Inter have got PSV at home, so if Inter beat PSV, Spurs are going out anyway. 3-0 to Napoli, PSG 2-1, Porto beating Schalke 1-0, and Lokomotiv Moscow beat Galatasaray 2-0 in the earlier game.
So Dele Alli's just given away a silly free kick here on the edge of the box, right-hand side. It's not in a scoring position, but it's got to be crossed in. But Spurs have got a 2 or 3 man wall here just in case. But they've got 2 players standing over it. Perisic is one of them. Oh, that nearly got deflected in, but could have gone anywhere, that one. But it's gone out for a corner. Good block by Davies. Low and hard into the bottom left-hand side of Lloris, but it's gone out for a corner.
I'll tell you what, if you're Liverpool, I'd be feeling more and more confident with every passing minute. PSG are being very sloppy in the final third, and Liverpool are getting the ball closer and closer to the PSG box. So I think if this went 2-2, Mane to Robertson, good block tackle there by Silva, who's trying to get the crowd up. Just a quick roundup of the Championship games. Forest and Villa was 4-3 after 50 minutes. It's gone quiet there. 70 minutes, it's still 4-3. Bristol are beating Ipswich 3-2. Birmingham are beating Millwall 1-0. West Brom are beating Swansea 2-1. Out of the 4 games, all the away teams are winning at the moment. Derby have just equalised, it's 1-1, which is good. I quite like Derby this season with Lampard. And Wigan are beating Blackburn 2. And I didn't even know Wigan were back in the Championship. I thought they were long gone, but...
So, Inter Milan had a break on there, 2v2. Icardi with a very poor pass across to the strike partner. He tried to loft it above Vertonghen, but absolutely skew-whiff pass. Don't know what he did a lot better just playing that back along the floor. But for some reason, he lofted it up towards the back post and no one is there.
2-0 Porto, says Lee Newman. Goal difference is the problem, says Philip Nash. Apparently it isn't. It isn't. It's a head-to-head thing. So as long as they beat Napoli 2-0, their head-to-head record will be better because Napoli beat Liverpool 1-0. But it might not come out to that. Salah was nearly in there. Mistake. Ooh, Liverpool are getting closer, I tell you. I'd fancy Liverpool for the second goal at the moment. It's not working for PSG at all in the final third. It's 4-4 now. Villa have equalised in the Forest Villa game. So 4-4, 8 goals, and there's still... Villa haven't been in front in that game. So I would guarantee that Villa will probably win that 5-4.
So the group as it stands for my game at the minute is Barcelona go through with 11 points, Inter Milan with 8, and Tottenham would have 5. So Tottenham are obviously eliminated unless they win this game.
Well, they'd be out anyway because they're head-to-head, wouldn't it? Yeah. I prefer goal difference to head-to-head, I do. But then again, I suppose you could have a situation where you'd say goal difference is unfair because what if one of your rivals plays somebody who gets sent off in the first minute and then they get 6 goals? I can sort of see both ways, really. At least head-to-head, there's nowhere to hide, is it? You're basing it on the other.
There was like 5 or 6 Spurs players waiting in the box there for the cross from Aurier, and it's such a poor cross, almost like similar, not too dissimilar from Valencia's crossing, to be honest. Doesn't even beat the first man, and it's gone out for a corner for Spurs. So just waiting for this corner to come in. Left footed in, it's flicked on. Oh, what a chance that was. What a chance. Came in. Yeah, fantastic chance. The corner comes in. I think it's Vertonghen who gets the flick on at the front, just by the penalty spot, just in front of it. Harry Kane. Oh, mate, Harry Kane, he should be chucking his body in front of that ball. That should be 1-0 to Spurs, but Harry Kane was nowhere near it. Didn't anticipate the flick on from the front post.
Talking about flick-ons from the front post, Chadwick Grant says that Lukaku for Ballon d'Or. I'll come back to that, Sean. I'll come back to that in a minute. Sean Ahmed wants to know what the attendance for United was last night. I think the official attendance was 72,000 odd, right? But there was definitely less in there. But they do some weird thing. Liverpool on the attack here. Salah.
I've just done an update in my group. Barcelona have scored against PSV.
Oh! Firmino. They're getting closer. Just headed it over. Good cross from Robertson. What was I going to say? Yeah, they do something with season ticket holders. What I was going to say before that about Lukaku is, and I don't know if anyone plays FIFA 19, but a lot of the teams I played today have got Lukaku up front. I don't know why everyone's suddenly getting Lukaku in, because I've never seen anybody having Lukaku on FIFA, and a few of the people I played today, a lot of them had him, so I don't know whether he's suddenly cheap or something, but I've never seen so many teams with Lukaku in it.
Yeah, probably his price has dropped, mate, because I think he was about 280,000 at one stage. So a long ball in by Inter Milan there, and I think it was De Vrij, if that's isn't how you say it, at the back post, just tapped. Oh, it got a toe on it, literally toe poke, trying to toe poke it home, and it's gone over the bar. A good chance for Inter Milan. But Inter Milan definitely creating chances in the second half now, and just had a substitution as well. Lucas has gone off and Son has come on.
Yeah, he was over 200. He's down to 125.
Yeah, there we go.
I don't like Lukaku in real life, but actually I think he'd be quite good in my team because I play two up front, and the problem I have is I've got Aguero, who's brilliant at scoring, but I've got him playing up front with Martial, so the long ball's never an option because they're no good at holding it up, which Lukaku isn't in real life, but he might be good on FIFA, so I might have a look at that tomorrow, but I'm not going to get good rewards because I've not been playing it enough.
Just get yourself into the I think one of the gold tiers is 28 grand. I think you only need to win about 6 or 7 games to get into it. Son looking dangerous already. As soon as he's come on, he's on the left hand side. A couple of step overs in the box, gone out for a corner, and Lamella's gonna whip this ball in.
No, it's a late bath tonight, Thomas Duffy. Don't worry. I normally depart around now, but I am intrigued by these games. Yeah, it's a good game tonight. I think this PSG. I'll be fair to Liverpool. This second half, they've been as good as PSG, probably better. So, if they were to get an equaliser, I would say fair play in the balance of play. First half, I didn't see a way back, but they've been better second half. PSG. This is the thing I would say about PSG. I think this game is a sort of metaphor for their season. They start the season well. And then as it gets into the latter stages, they just lack a bit of spine. And maybe it's the fitness levels of Liverpool coming through as well, because PSG, they play in a pub league where they batter most opposition, and here they are against a team that's actually going for them, and maybe they're dropping off a bit.
Spurs down the right-hand side with Aurier.
PSG do defend well, though.
Comes out to the left-hand side, Lamella. Dangerous ball in, but it's Davies, sorry, with that ball in from the left hand side, just too far, too much on it, out for a goal kick.
5-4 to Villa now. Told you, what a game. So what a game that is. Championships, I've always got a lot of respect for teams who get out of the Championship because there's so many games and anyone can beat anyone.
Yeah, confirmation of the Barcelona 1, PSV 0, Messi with a goal.
Neymar's there cheerleading then, and he gets a pass to him, and he's too busy cheerleading, the ball goes out. If I was the crowd, I'd be there giving him the finger for that.
Spurs just, I don't know, they seem to have dropped the pace a little bit now in these last couple of minutes. Not the intensity that they had when they kicked off the second half, or even in the first half. A few silly tackles going in as well. Oh, gee, to be fair, that tackle there on Valero. Batonga actually gets the ball. Should never have been a free kick.
A few people comparing Rashford and Mbappe in the live comments. I've sort of let it bubble a bit before I'm going to say my bit. Look, I think that Forest are down to 10 men as well, so I think Villa will win that game now, but what a game. The the Liverpool, the Rashford Mbappe thing. I think there is some interesting point that if you put Rashford in the PSG team playing in a pub league, he'd do as well as Mbappe. But Mbappe is on another level to Rashford, I've got to say, even as a United fan, and that's because Rashford's development is just, we don't know how good Rashford is yet because he's just not getting development under Mourinho.
Tottenham getting a bit tetchy here with their tackles. Not concentration level seems to have dropped a bit. They're making some really silly fouls. There's no need to do them.
Dylan Atkins is why you're watching Liverpool play as a United fan, you freak. No, I'd watch this game anyway. So why not be live chatting with a load of fans all over the place? To be honest, I'd watch this game anyway, and if I'm watching the game, I'd rather watch it with a load of you lot than be sat watching it on my own, because no one else is going to watch football with me in my house. So I don't think that's freakish. I don't just watch Manchester United play. If I did, I'd be a very depressed person because it's shit. So, you know, there's a substitution here. Keita's coming on, so we're going to get to see Keita for Wijnaldum. Knifing Ninja says Rooney was better than Rashford at his age. I think Rooney was better than virtually every player in world football at his age.
Yeah.
That's no comparison.
So Spurs still trying to work the ball through. No other changes yet. No changes to the game plan. Valero's gone down a couple of times quite easily, and Harry Winks deservedly has said to him, like, that's 2 or 3 times you've gone down a bit too easy now. Stay on your feet.
Of course, if Liverpool get a draw here, it changes it slightly. As long as they beat Napoli, they could win 1-0 and go through. So it makes it slightly easier for them. I still think it's doable. They've only got to beat Napoli by 2 goals if they lose. But if they draw, then... I mean, PSG can't afford to draw anyway. Let's just remind ourselves of that. Because PSG are actually on 5 points at the moment. And Liverpool are on 6. Napoli will be up to 9. So, you know, PSG would put themselves in that situation if they only draw, where they'd be looking over the shoulder for that last game as well.
Oh, chance there for Spurs. Son causing all sorts of trouble on the right-hand side, tiptoes into the area, stands the ball up to the back post. I think it's headed downwards by, I think it was Lamela. No, Harry Winks headed it downwards to the edge of the box, to the alley. Bit of a spin on a half volley. Goes about a metre wide. But Inter Milan not in any rush to take the goal kicks or their free kicks. Harry Kane's been very quiet this second half. Very quiet. Not really got into the game at all. That should be... Oh, no. They kept it in. Oh, it's gone out. So Christian Eriksen's coming on. Getting his final instructions. Apparently Red Star has scored. Mark, it's 3-1.
Still a long way back.
And Man United fans says 5-5. What a game, Villa and Forest.
Really? Bloody hell.
It's 5-5 apparently, yeah. Odin says, what the fuck, 5-5?
Forest are down to 10 men as well, apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently
says,
they have
come
this
on,
thing
Spurs.
on the Championship on Sky now where you can watch on the red button on a midweek game. You can watch all the games. But they only have one camera angle. So you don't get any replays or anything like that. It's literally, you've got one camera angle and you can just watch the game.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether that's true. I've never done it. But
Barcelona have just scored again, so it's 2-0. PK has just added the second.
Well, you're running out of time a little bit in that Spurs game. It's going the way I thought it might. They need a goal, and again, it's a bit like the Juventus game last year.
I think that's Inter Milan.
Oh, what a save by Alisson again. You've got to give the man credit. He's been absolutely amazing tonight.
De Vrij has just picked up a yellow card. Needless one. And Lamella's come off for Eriksen. I am Mr. Exclusive, you're right.
What a save.
Yep. Lee Newman says 2-0 Barcelona. Yep. PK with second goal. I'll tell you what, I might actually watch that Forest and Villa game, See if I can catch the highlights of it somewhere.
I won't, because I don't give a shit about Forest, but there you go.
No, but I mean, the amount of goals in it, man. When was the last time you got a 5-5 game?
I think that they're down to 10 men, Forest, as well, so I'd fancy a winner for Villa. Although they were 5-4 up, I didn't think they would come back from that. So
had a great chance just now for Spurs. Vertonghen, long ball in from a free kick, and Vertonghen has headed wide. Came round the back of two centre-backs. Should really be on target, but it's gone wide, unfortunately. What's up with Tottenham, says Gus? Nothing much at the minute, mate. Spurs still pressing, but they're quite comfortable at the minute.
Jean-Paul Waters says, are you sure Alisson is class, Ederson is better? Well, I think, you know what? I will jump on this debate and say that Ederson doesn't belong in the same sentence as De Gea and Alisson, to be honest with you. And the reason for that is Ederson doesn't get tested. The team he plays in is too good. So he never gets tested like the way De Gea does, because De Gea plays in a shit team. And obviously Alisson gets more shots against him than Ederson does. And I'm sure Ederson is a good goalkeeper, but I think so much of it is because he plays in a great team and he doesn't get tested much. So I think Alisson and Ederson are better. Alisson and De Gea are better. Ollie Price has made a contribution. Thank you, Ollie. He says at multiple points during the Young Boys game, Rashford created chances out of nothing. His finishing just isn't quite there yet. He needs a run at number 9. Exactly, he does. But Mourinho doesn't do that. You've got to do it in the game, otherwise you're out.
I think the Forest and Villa game's a bit scripted, mate, in my opinion.
There's going to be a goal at the end for Villa. 6-5 would be something. You almost feel that... Oh, what a chance that was for Robertson to put the cross in. A good block again. You almost feel that when it's like that, they both deserve a point, really, don't they?
Yeah. Someone in the comments just now said the last 5-5 game was United and West Brom in 2013. Aston Villa 6-5.
Yeah, just seen that. I told you.
Oh man, it's scripted, Mark. Definitely. What a game that is.
Well, I don't know whether it is. Oh no, it is. There's a lot of people in there saying it now. No, it's disallowed goal, apparently. 5-5. I don't know. Disallowed, says Lidder. It's all going on in that one. Derby are losing again 2-1 to Stoke, who are just a mid-table championship side. That's the problem with that league. Anybody can beat anybody. Wigan are beating Blackburn, who are both mid-table clubs. Swansea losing to West Brom. West Brom are in the top in the playoff positions. Swansea are mid-table. Ipswich losing to Bristol City. Bristol City mid-table team. Ipswich bottom. And Villa Forest is, I believe, 5-5.
Yeah.
And 87 minutes.
The Spurs have decided to calm down a bit now. Almost as if they've run out of ideas. Son's picked up a needless yellow card a few minutes ago. I mean, they're still trying to get that goal. Desperately trying now, but they're tiring out.
It's unfortunate. I really do like Spurs, but I did say it at half time. I just think in these sort of games they don't get the result. They've just not. It's almost like they're not wise enough to do it. They can beat anybody, but in the big games, it's like when we beat them, didn't we, at Wembley in the FA Cup semi-final?
Yeah,
they just seem to get a little bit in the bigger games. They just lack that experience, and but this game's interesting. It's still 2-1 PSG Liverpool, and Liverpool are giving as good as they've got. PSG just cannot get their game together. Although they should have won it. What a save it was by Alisson from that corner. Anarud says a draw here means Napoli are through. I don't know how that would work. Napoli would be on 9 points, Liverpool would be on 7 points, PSG would be on 6 points. So if Liverpool beat Napoli, PSG beat Red Star, they'd be on 9 points. What is the head-to-head between PSG and Napoli? I forget. I think one was a draw. See, Napoli must have dropped some silly points somewhere to only have 6 points after 4 games.
Didn't they drop points to Red Star?
Yeah, maybe they got beat by Red Star because they've got... no, they must have drawn with them. Marcus is watching the Spurs and Inter game, and it is 0-0. So
0-0 so far.
I think, to be honest with you, I think Spurs are out anyway, because even if Spurs win, they get up to 7 points. The last game they've got is Barcelona away, and Inter have got PSV at home. So Inter are going to win that, and our Spurs are going to win at the Nou Camp. So Spurs are probably going to go out anyway.
So Lloris has just had to make his first save of the game. It came from left-hand side from Inter Milan into Perisic inside the area. Perisic with a bit of a snapshot, low and hard down at Lloris's near post, and Lloris saved it. It's out for a corner.
Yeah, Napoli would be ahead on away goals against PSG, says S. Pelad. So yes, Napoli would probably want to draw in this game, and I think Napoli would probably say to Liverpool, we're through anyway, do what you want to do. So PSG draw this game, and I'd say they're going into the Emmerdale Cup. Mane's getting a yellow card, I think.
Axel Twanzebe, is he actually playing for Villa tonight?
I would be surprised if he's not, because he's been he's playing. Twanzebe centre back. He's been very, very good for them, although 5 goals probably wouldn't. Let's have a look at the stats on that game. Villa have had 22 shots on goal. Guess how many shots Forest have had?
10.
Yeah, 8.
Mm.
Villa have had 10 shots on target. Forest have had 5, so they've scored with every shot. Corner for Liverpool. Van Dijk, get him up.
I've not seen it yet, but a couple of people are saying Spurs 1-0.
Oh, that's a massive goal then. That's fantastic if it's true. Eriksen, by the looks of it. Marcus is a little bit behind.
Yeah,
so
I am about 20 seconds behind. It's FIFA, says Phil Mitchell. I predicted Eriksen to win it. So it would be exciting. I think this is going to happen any second now. So rip Inter, says Odin. Mark, that's not the pass I played. Goldbridge 200. Scripted Spurs. Yeah, so it all started with Lloris just booting the ball upfield, just a long ball. And then what's happened is Harry Kane's got the flick on. And then it's sort of like a miscontrolled pass from the Inter Milan players. They've gone out to the right-hand side, and Eriksen's in there, right place, right time, in the net. Great goal. "81 minutes, they're still out. Unknown Baby says 1-0. Yeah, I mean, who would you take, Mbappe or Martial, says Yazdil? Oh, I'd stick with Martial. I think he's proven it in the Premier League for me. So Barcelona are still 2-0 up. But yeah, just showing the replay back as well. I mean, Sissoko had a lot of involvement in that goal down the right-hand side. Harry Kane, again, involved in it. He's not done much, Harry Kane, but what he's done, he's made the goal with the flick on from the header. And then the ball's come across the six yard line, and Eriksen's there just running in, right place, right time, puts it away.
Well, Vishnu says, watch out, because Inter have a tendency to score late goals. And let's not forget, in the game in Milan, Spurs were 1-0 up with 10 minutes to go in Milan. And that's probably going to be the reason Spurs ultimately end up in the Emmerdale Cup. I think it's great. I wanted Spurs to win, and it's great that they're going to give themselves an opportunity in the new camp. But that's almost mission impossible. So if and when Spurs do go drop into the Europa League, it will be because of that Milan game, which they had won, and they end up losing it. PSG have got a breakaway here. This game's really interesting, even more so knowing that PSG, if they draw, will probably go out. But Neymar, Van Dijk, don't think it was a penalty, but Neymar quite fancied it. I'd like to see that back again. He seemed to meg Van Dijk, but maybe he took it well. Actually, as John Miller says, it will be a dive, won't it? Good tackle by Henderson there. Not brave by Marquinhos.
So the group, for me, as it stands, Barca are on 13 points. Tottenham are in second with 7 points. Inter are in third with 7 points. So I assume, because they both played the same amount of games, same goal difference, same amount of points. So I'd assume Spurs are in second because of the head-to-head.
50-50. A lot of people saying it was a penalty on Neymar. I've not seen it back, so I won't pass judgment. But I'd always give the benefit of the doubt to anybody else tackling Neymar, to be honest, because I think he's a diving cheat.
Yeah. And PSV have just scored a few seconds ago against Barca.
All right, so 2-1.
PSV, yeah.
There was a 50-50 challenge there between Neymar and Lovren. Needless to say, Neymar jumped out of it. This is a good game.
So the bridges come off.
Good free kick opportunity here for Liverpool. PSG sort of losing their heads a little bit. Talking of heads, let's watch this back. Not a penalty for me. Van Dijk, no, it's not a penalty. Van Dijk gets the ball with his dragging foot.
Kyle, I'll be watching it. Mark, are you watching the Fury Wilder fight tomorrow?
What time is it?
Saturday. I think it's. I'm going to say about 10 o'clock.
All right. Is it in America or is it in England?
I think it's America. I think.
Liverpool don't do anything with the cross, although I think they should get a corner. They do.
I am Jonesy says Spurs will be third. Mark. They showed the table on the on BT and it said they put Spurs as second. So I'm just going by what they put on BT and on the table. Barcelona are top, obviously, with 13 points, and it said Tottenham were second.
I don't know how people think that's a penalty on Neymar. It's 4 o'clock in the morning, that fight.
Sunday morning, and yeah.
I might get up and do a watch along for it. Yeah. I mean, I might do. See where it goes. Look, I'd love to say it was a penalty on Neymar as a Manchester United fan, but he definitely gets the ball. It's a little bit lucky and a little bit reckless, but he definitely gets the ball.
So 84 minutes in here, just gone past the 84 minutes, and
that's going to be a yellow card. Oh no, he's played it on. There's the pass. Mbappe up against Robertson, and that should be a corner. No, it's a goal kick.
So we got
end to end this now.
Coming on. Yep. I've got Eric Dyer coming on here now. So Spurs looking obviously shut up shop now. I seem to think the 1-0 will be enough.
Rabiot is coming on for PSG.
Danny Milner says, "Yep, Tottenham will be in second place." Well, like I say, I'm only reading what was on the screen, right?
Somebody's just saying here that Van Dijk gets the ball but then takes his feet afterwards. Doesn't matter. What sort of rule of football do you live by? It's not a penalty, is it? If he gets the ball first and then takes the player afterwards, it's not a foul unless it's reckless. I.e. you're jumping in with 2 feet to get the ball and then the player. That's a penalty. But he goes for the ball, he takes the ball, and then Neymar goes over his leg. That's not a penalty.
David Rowe's on the 87th minute. Bloody hell. Jeez.
You what?
David Rowe is on the 86th to 87th minute. I'm on the 85th now. So,
See, I'm on 84, and that game must have kicked off before, because...
I'm ahead of you, yet he's ahead of both of us.
Anybody who's interested in the Stoke game with Derby, there is quite an interesting subplot to this. Stoke went 1-0 up. Derby equalised. But Stoke at 1-0 up had a man sent off. Derby equalised, and then Stoke have gone ahead with 10 men. And they've been playing with 10 men from the 33rd minute. So, cracking result for Stoke, that would be, if they get it, with 10 men, to be 1-0 up and then 1-1, and then still go ahead again with 10 men. Well done to Stoke. Then again, maybe they're doing a Mourinho park the bus.
Cam says, honestly, Inter Milan kind of remind me of Man United. Do you know what they do, Cam? I said it earlier. They're very similar. They are very similar.
Well, Skriniar would do well then, wouldn't he?
He would do, yeah. I mean, I think Skriniar and De Vrij, if that's how you say it, I think they've been absolutely quality tonight, them two, at centre-back. Whenever there's been a rebound or a 50-50 in the area, one of them two is always first to the ball to get it away. Icardi's been very quiet. I mean, based on this performance, don't see the big deal about him. But Harry Winks has gone off for Dyer. Harry Winks had a good game tonight. I mean, hit the bar in the first half.
Carl says, PSG there.
Carl says, Marcus, do you think Fury can beat Wilder? I don't know. Never rule him out. As far as I'm concerned, the Gypsy King, innit? He's got a hell of a right hand on him, that bloke.
Okay, now Marquinhos and Thiago Silva doing a little bit of a chest pump there. What I would say about Fury is he's one of those people that you sometimes come across in life. He may not be the best boxer, but you're probably going to have to nearly kill him to beat him, because he'll just go and go and go. His resolve to keep going and going makes him very, very dangerous. I don't think he will win, but I think he's going to have to put him on. He's going to have to really outdo him. It's so unorthodox, Fury's fighting style as well. It's interesting to watch. I don't know whether I'll get up and watch that. I might have to get an early night on Saturday to do it, because I would like to watch it, to be honest.
Well, I'm warming up for the fight by going to watch Creed 2 Saturday afternoon.
Oh, so,
yeah. So I'm warming up for it. Someone just said there, Mark, Born Red MUFC. Marcus, do you like Mbappe? I do. I think there's too much on his shoulders at the minute. You should, I think with young lads like that, like with the Rashfords and Martials, just don't push them. Let them develop at their natural pace. Just let them play their natural game. Don't wrap them up in cotton wool. If they're good enough to be in the first team, they're good enough to play football. So, just don't go in so hard on them. Don't kill them straight away.
Well, it looks like Spurs are nearly home and hosed, which would be good to see.
Mm-hmm.
This PSG Liverpool game is still very, very interesting. Liverpool just haven't really, despite having a good second half, they've not created that chance to get back in the game. PSG had a good couple of chances in this game, but it's been very, 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 very end to end. It's been an interesting game to keep your eye on. I'm going to give my man of the match, because I think that would only be fair. But I was going to say, please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, we're very close to hitting 50,500. We're only 35 away, so if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, bottom right hand corner, give it a subscribe, get your notifications on with the bell, and we do the watch-alongs on here, which is always good fun. Really enjoyed it again tonight. In the Champions League, we've actually started doing this thing where one of us watch one game, one of us watches the other, which I think is really good. It adds another dimension to it, so really, really enjoying doing that. And obviously I do my FIFA stuff on here.
It does work really well doing the dual games for the Champions League, and the results tonight, if they stay like they are, 2 weeks time, it'll be another good night with Liverpool and is it Napoli, isn't it? And then Tottenham and Barcelona.
There's a good chance here for Liverpool. Free kick about 5 yards from the edge of the box. Salah. I mean, PSG bottoms will be going like that at the moment, because if they draw this, I think they're going to have to go out, because Napoli and Liverpool can work a result that puts them through, which would be, I think that would be Tuchel out of a job, to be honest, not getting out of the Champions League. Considering Laurent Blanc won 3 French league titles in a row, and they still sacked him because they weren't happy with the Champions League results. So it's all about the Champions League for them. Shaqiri, and there's a foul anyway, so they've wasted that free kick. Funnily enough, I think my man of the match tonight probably would be Thiago Silva. I think he's been fantastic for PSG. I think Liverpool have really had a go second half, but there's not been a chance for them because defensively, PSG have been very impressive, which is something that might surprise a few people because when you think of PSG, you think about Neymar, you think about Mbappe, etc. But defensively, they've been very, very, very good. So
I've got 3 minutes of added on time here.
5
2
here.
minutes. 2 minutes left of extra time. We've already played a minute of it. Son's just managed to get a free kick on the edge of the box. Good run and pushed over by Ficino. Really good game, this one. Thoroughly enjoyed this tonight, watching this one and listening to the Liverpool game. Both exciting games.
Yeah, I really enjoy this format for the watch-along. It's good covering a couple of games. I do like it.
Ericsson standing over the free kick. Kieran's apparently finished, and he says Spurs won full time. Okay, cheers, Kieran. Yeah, Spurs just keeping it in the corner. Harry Kane shielding the ball. That's gone out, Harry. It's a throw. Lee Newman says Spurs game's finished. Okay. Cornelius says well done to Spurs. That's not the pass I played, Goldbridge says 5 minutes is scripted. So, Inter Milan still. Do you know what? They're still playing, even towards the end of the game. You think they just get it up into the Spurs penalty box, but still trying to press them, play their way out of trouble. And the goalie's going up for it for the corner.
Robertson's just gone through Neymar there, which will give him a bit of. To be honest, I quite like the lad for doing that, and he's a Liverpool player. He absolutely clatters Neymar. And I don't blame him for doing it. I know he's a Liverpool fan, but a Liverpool player, and probably a fan as well.
And that's it. Yep, that's it. All over for me. I just caught a comment there. Someone said I'm 2 minutes behind. I don't know how people are so far ahead. I really don't. But, yep, all over. So, Spurs still in with a shout, 1-0. I'd give my man of the match to Harry Winks. I thought he had a fantastic game. Hit the bar in the first half. He was always in amongst the midfield battle, really biting into the challenges, picking up the second balls when he could. I thought he had a fantastic game for a young lad. So, yeah, absolutely. I thought it was a fantastic game overall, and credit to Spurs. They got the result they needed. And what was it, 10 days again? Is it 10 days, 2 weeks till the next one?
Yeah. So Spurs have won.
Yep, Spurs won. George says, Marcus, this is bloody out. Do you know what, George? I'm on par. The thing is, I'm just out probably by about 10 seconds with Mark, right? And with people watching it how they watch it, I always seem to be behind with others. I don't know. I don't know. It's not the internet because, like I say, I've got pretty decent internet now. So, and plus as well, YouTube have a delay as well. So could be that. But your game's still going, Mark? Is it?
Yeah. 3 minutes. We're just going into the 4th minute. Everyone go and give my tweet a retweet. It's at Mark Goldbridge. I'm just going in on Arsenal, which is going to probably backfire on me big time next week because we're playing them in the Premier League. But, you only live once. Fortunately, you know, and we always beat Arsenal at Old Trafford. Napoli have beat Red Star. Spurs have obviously won, which is good. We've got about 30 seconds left in this game. And Liverpool, I think Liverpool have been good second half, but they've just not been able to create that chance to get the equaliser. They might do now. Ooh, nearly dropped onto Salah's foot. Like I say, if PSG draw, they're out. Realistically. Not 100% out, but there's a free kick here to PSG, foul by Keita. I think that's going to be it. A floating fox says you're much more relaxed when United are not playing. I've enjoyed tonight. As a football fan, I've enjoyed tonight. I don't enjoy United at the moment, and that's the problem with most United fans. They don't enjoy United at the moment. But I've enjoyed tonight because it's been an excitement. Sorry, not a pressure. It's been an excitement of watching these games, listening to Marcus talking about the Spurs game, watching the PSG Liverpool game. There's been that excitement about it, but it doesn't matter what the result is to me.
Yeah, it's much more relaxing, you know, and I think for me, it's exciting to see attacking.
There's no Liverpool goal, by the way. People are trying to spam 2-2. There's no Liverpool goal, and Chadwick Grant can fuck off, actually. You get yourself blocked for that, twat. There's no Liverpool goal. There's not going to be a Liverpool goal either, because it's just the commotion is for a free kick for PSG, so...
Yeah. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that, mate. I love doing this, you know, the dual games. Like I say, it educates me with, you know, players I don't normally watch, and you know, I don't really watch much football outside of United anyway. So, but
PSG
yeah, I love
happy. They're jumping around like they've won the cup. To be honest with you, like I said, if they'd lost or drew, I think they were going to be going out PSG. So now it's going to be, that puts them through, really. They'll beat Red Star. They're absolutely ecstatic with the result. They're acting like they've won the cup, to be honest, PSG. And Liverpool, 3 losses in 3 Champions League games. So Buffon's acting like he's 18 years old. He's ecstatic. You're nearly 50, mate. You'll have a heart attack. And so Liverpool-Napoli, I think I'm going to Bagsy that for a couple of weeks' time. Yeah. Then again, Spurs-Barcelona looks good. We'll have to have a chat.
No, I'll Bagsy that one, mate. You can stick to the Scousers.
Yeah, you bastard. I jumped too quick then. Don't jump too quick to opinions. So, the Snap says more back-to-back watch-alongs. They work really well. They do work really well. It's only the Champions League that really throws them up, but I do really enjoy them as well. So, finishes PSG 2, Liverpool 1, and Spurs 1, Inter 0. Deserved result, Marcus, for Spurs?
I think so, yeah. I mean, Inter Milan, like a couple of the comments said, I mean, they played very similar to United in an away game, and which is understandable. It's an Italian team, you know, you'd expect that. But I think Spurs, they did, first half, they were really, really well organised. They went forward an awful lot. No signs of sitting back and, you know, waiting to hit on the counter-attack, and they played like that the whole game. So, fair play to them. You know, they had a difficult summer. And they managed to keep, you know, hold of their best players, and it's paying dividends at the minute. And they've still got a bit of a shout in the Champions League. So well done to them.
Definitely. Thanks everybody for watching. Really enjoyed it. I think subscriber count wise, we have got. We nearly hit 50,500. If you didn't subscribe to the channel, please do on your way out. I do my FIFA stuff on here, so I'll be back playing FIFA Ultimate Team around probably around 1:30 tomorrow. So thanks everybody for watching. Very interesting, and really enjoyed it. And obviously we'll be back doing these in a couple of weeks' time as well for the Champions League. But loads planned, and obviously United stand as per usual every night at 8 o'clock. So thanks for watching. Thanks Marcus for coming on. Do you want to shout anything out?
No, it's all right, mate. No, it's all right. It's you know, just thanks for doing the watch-alongs, mate, and thanks for having me on doing them with you. I thoroughly enjoy them and thoroughly enjoy reading the comments, and it's just fantastic. I think these dual watch-alongs work really well, and you know, looking forward to the future and the future games in the Champions League.
Thanks everyone. Can't do it without you. You make it really enjoyable. So thanks everyone for watching it. I've really enjoyed myself tonight. not just because Liverpool lost. And I'm sorry, Liverpool fans, you are a massive rival of United, but also for Spurs. I just think it sets it up nice for the next 2 games. They're going to be really, really interesting. So I'm looking forward to those. Speak to you all soon. Thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for watching.